Well, now, listen. Welcome to Gavin Games. Now, this episode, or what we're doing today, is a little different, but we're going to start doing this twice a week. Hello. We're doing Tuesday, Thursday shows for Gavin Games that are incredibly chill and chat-centric. We're doing the echo again. Is Mr. Dan the only one getting the echo? So, we're doing a lot of chatting with the chat. We got Discord lines are open. I'm even putting the red phone on. It'll come up at times when I'll take calls. You can take those calls via, or you can call on your phone and whatnot. Sorry, I just been rushing around trying to get one of my kids out for an appointment. So you just gotta let me settle. Also got a little weed, which may or may not be ingested today by me. I'm not sure if I'm in the headspace yet. We'll find out. But yeah, this is Gavin Games. I got to come up with a branding name. If anyone in the audience has any ideas, I got to come up with a name to suggest that this is sort of the version of Gavin Games that is not the Monday, Wednesday, Friday show that has lots of focus discussion. This is more kind of all over the place. I have topics. We have things to discuss, of course. I'm not going to leave you high and dry. But at the same time, this one's going to kind of go off the rails wherever you guys want it to go, okay? So welcome. We're going to be talking about the Lego stuff today. We're going to be talking about heavy chat, says Darth Nugget, has a certain ring to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what this chat is today. Where'd it go? Here it is. I'm not worried about staying on the path. I'm not worried about this being necessarily deep analysis. Huh. Okay. I don't know. Now that I said that, I just feel, I feel like a burden has been lifted. I can just relax. I'm like, I'm not even going to do the show. I'm just going to sit here. Mute Mo is sending me some pictures of Zoloft. I did take my Ritalin about 20 minutes ago, so maybe it's just kicking in. I know you're a different person on here than over there. I don't know what I'll call you then, Hildo or whatever. Hildo says we're just going to talk about necrophiles or just act like it never happened. Yeah, you were in the stream, the Pot and Popcorn stream this weekend when we talked about, or we watched the necrophiles for Pot and Popcorn. We actually did talk about it a little bit yesterday, and it's a weird fucking movie, man. Like I said, Rob the Mod literally thought it was a snuff film. I wouldn't know because I've never seen a snuff film, but clearly he has. I have seen maybe a snuff film once, though. I have to tell you something real quick. By the way, I'll get to that in a minute, though. Michael McGee, thank you, buddy. He says, Jaffe, you're going to love this. Sideshow.com. Oh, let's see what's happening. Let's go there right away. It's like, this is not an organized show. If I'm Sean from The Good Doctor, I would not be liking this. Sideshow.com. Hang on. Yeah, the Necrophiles was crazy shit. Okay. I mean, is there something specific at Sideshow you want to look at? I mean, they're amazing. They're an amazing fucking studio. But is there a new piece that just dropped? One of the most amazing things for Comic-Con, even when they have Comic-Con because of the COVID and they have it all digital, is Sideshow puts on some wonderful Comic-Con based like tours of their studios, and you really get to see all the brand new shit. But yeah, their stuff is wild, man. Their stuff is just crazy, man. Check out, this is their new Moon Knight, $285. That's not too shabby. I don't know how tall it is, but that's beautiful. Really fucking good. Anyway, hey, come back here. Yo, so, hey, where does chat go? Come on, Jaffe, what are you doing? I don't know. Okay. No, snuff films, though. I've never actually seen a snuff film, I don't think. Okay, but here's what I will absolutely tell you. Why can't I grab the fucking chat? I don't remember what I was looking up. Okay, I have no recollection of what I was looking up, but I was looking up something. And what came my way was, God damn it, man. Oh my God, settle, Jaffe, settle. I'm trying to get the goddamn chat to show up on the screen again, but the fucking doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And so the hang on, there it is. Okay. Thank you, Michael McGee. I appreciate it, buddy. And so the thing that comes up on the screen is this guy, and he is having sex with, it looks like a woman. Well, it's definitely a woman, but she looks dead. I've talked about this on the stream before, when he's having sex with her, and she's just like a dunk, like her head's just hitting up against the back of the wall. And it was so disturbing. I was just like, oh my God. But let me tell you something else that's really disturbing. I swear we'll get on video games in just a second. So last night I get a text message. In fact, I have it right here. I can't show you because there's nudie pictures on it. And this is what it was. It's a picture of a woman. Here, I'll just flash it real quick. I'm not fucking with you. There you go. Let's set. There you go. Okay. It's a picture of a woman or a girl, I don't know, in a hotel room. She says, "Thanks for the drinks last night. Want to go for round 2 later." Now, I know, of course, this is, horse shit, but I'm like, fuck it. I want to fuck around with these people. So I said, sure, I'm in, hoping to see what they would say. And they say, it's clear this is all a script. It's not a bot, though. I'll tell you how I know that in a second. I say, sure, I'm in. And she writes back, for real? That douche must have given me a fake number. What an idiot. Anyways, what are you up to? She says, well, and she plays the next one. She clearly, I've thrown her for a loop. I don't know. Well, she says, I was planning to go out tonight, but it's looking like I'll be staying in. Feel like keeping me company? And I wrote, sure, but I get to wear the scuba suit tonight. Cool? And then she sends me another picture of herself, this time with her bra pulled down. You can see her boobs, okay? And I says, who is this? My son is only 12 years old. Have some decency. And then she says to me, I am usually not this sexual, but I just really could use a hardcore cum sesh right now. Is that something you can do? And I wrote back to her and I says to her, this is my boy's phone, but he goes to bed in 2 hours. Wink. Wink. I winked at her. And then she says, how about this? And she shows another picture with her boobs out, and then her legs are all kind of spread open. And I says, I honestly don't think you understand I am fucking with you. I can't believe I'm saying this to a guy trying to sell me video sex or whatever you're selling, but I don't want to waste your time, and you are not taking the hint. Look, I'm Jewish, okay? I'm Jewish. It will never work out. And then she says, I wish I could feel that dick in my hands and stroke you till I watch the nut squirt out. Ugh, I'm so horny. Is there any way I can see ya? And I says, oh Lord, you're a chat bot. You can't actually respond. Oh man. Oh well, computer code has feelings too. Maybe next life you'll come back as a video game. I said, by the way, you are aware the pictures you are sending me seem like they are of an underage kid, right? Like this kid, I don't know how old she is, but I saved this because part of me is like, maybe I give this to the cops or something, because this kid is clearly, I don't know, clearly, but she don't look like a grown woman. I says, you are aware you're sending me the underage kid, right? At least in America, it's illegal. Please tell me you guys don't make cash exploiting children. Forget that it's illegal in most places. It's a barbaric and cruel and akin to murder of the soul. Please stop doing this. He says, I'm not a bot, but whatever. You're getting weird, so whatever. And I said, you damn right I'm weird. But seriously, it doesn't bug you that you are making cash exploiting kids. I get it. Life is hard and cruel, but there's no other way you can make the money. Hell, sell some drugs or something. At least you'd be providing a healthy service then. Then they say, I have an idea. Like, totally ignoring all that. How about a face chat? I am actually already signed up on a site, and I could help you get signed up pretty quick for free. I swear this is almost over. You're like, what is this? I said, can I stream it live to my audience? Right? Because I was thinking, I'll just turn on the stream and I'll, send this out and we'll see what's going on. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be, nude shit right away, so we could actually talk to the person. I said, so can I stream this live to my audience? And they say, yay, my body is so ready to see ya. If you select this photo, you should be able to sign up easily. And then she sends me another picture with whatever it's called, a web address. So I go to it. I have the stream all set up, ready to go. And my blocker says website blocked due to fraud. So I sent that to her and I said, seriously, be better. And she says, nice. Message me your username when you get signed up so I can get us on a call. I'm so excited. It's totally P Turtle Lord Garth. That's what I think. And no, I'm not going to delete that shit. There's no way I'm deleting that shit. I'm keeping that on my phone because, Mr. Edgelord says, who knows? She could be a slave from human trafficking, right? Well, of course it's a scam, Utmo. Come on. No one's, from the very beginning, I knew it was a scam, but I was like, okay, what can I do with this? And then when I see the pictures, it's like, holy shit, that may be illegal. Fuck you, Bukkake Drive-By. Let me tell you something. There's a reason we didn't open the show today with your band's music. We opened with Alex Plox, all right? Fuck you, motherfucker. Anyway, so that's what's going on in my world. Let's talk about some video games, fellas. Oh, I want to let you know. So, the Discord is open. As you can see, the chat is open. Also, we're bringing, for Tuesday and Thursday shows, from time to time, the red phone will be open. If you want to call this, and call it right now, I'll let the phone lines be open while we kick off the news. And if you want to call in, I'll talk to you. You don't have to have a Discord. You don't have to spend any ducats. Just call in and say, whatever the fuck you want to say, because that's the kind of show we're doing today. Hello, Rathy. Good to see you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Sarcastic. Mr. Sarcastic likes the story. Oh, you had a show last night? F you, fucker. Playing to your parents in the living room is not a show, no matter what they tell you, sir. Rathy wants to know, are video games the best form of escapism? No. Yes, no, no, yes. I mean, there's no real answer to that, right? It's simply, hang on, where'd my phone thing go? It is simply a question of what headspace you're in and what headspace you're looking to escape from, okay? So there are times when all I want to do is come home and turn on a TV and just watch something that is not challenging at all. I don't find video games... I do find video games give me a sense of escape, but it's almost more like a literal sense of like a vacation, right? So escaping from my own mind, no. But if I come home and I'm like, I want to get lost in a world and I want to be cogent of it and of the experience and I want to be engaged with it, then yes, running around fucking, what do they call them? The Middle Lands or whatever, in Elden Ring is a wonderful sense of escape, but it's very different than coming home and going, I'm fucking fried. I need to just turn off my brain. So, it totally different. It's totally different. Yes, anyone can call in, Dan Rath. Absolutely. Hello, CK Present. Okay. So the phone lines are open. I think they work. Somebody give it a test and call me and let's see if it actually works. And while we're waiting, I will tell you, let me tell you this guy. This is the funniest fucking, I'm going to just be annoyed for a little bit. This guy who I like, he may have called into the stream before, but I definitely have conversed with him on Twitter from time to time. This is what he says. His name is Odie. over on the Twitter. He says, I give up. Jaffe has said PlayStation's mascot is a pedophile. What? What? When the fuck have I ever said PlayStation? What are you talking about? I have never said that. God of War looks like DLC. It does. I've said that. I didn't say it looks bad. I didn't say it's not going to be Game of the Year. I said it looks like DLC, meaning it looks like it's more of the same. PlayStation's games are stale from Horizon to God of War, and Sony won't be able to compete as is in the future. I never fucking said their games are stale. I said, are the formulas, or is the main formula Sony uses in their games getting old? And I followed that up with a 6-minute video suggesting if somebody came back to me and said, Jaffe, we would like you to design a game for Sony. And it's a God of War style game, I would be challenged. I would struggle because my job, I think, whenever I sit down to design something, is to surprise the audience and give the audience something that is comfortable enough to be marketable, but not so comfortable that they aren't shocked and surprised and delighted. Okay? So, do I think the formula is getting old? Yes. Do I think the formula is getting stale? Yes. But I never said God of War was stale. I have gone over and over and bent over backwards to make people understand that I loved the 2018 God of War. I played it on the stream. I finished it. I adored it. These people out here, these fans are, and they're just, here's another one. This guy, hallowed, honest, no BS gamer, writing to King Thrash, who called in the other day, had an interesting conversation with the young fella. He writes to King Thrash, but he's replying to me. He says, it's time for a new video, King Thrash. What's the dirt? Where's the dirt on what Sony did to this man? If anyone can find it, it's you. I'm just tired of it. I can't help it. There's nothing I can do about it. When people talk about you, that means you're on their mind. They care. I don't know if they care about you, but you're on their mind. And I'm like, motherfucker, Sony did nothing. They treated me wonderfully. You would think that when a publisher cancels your game, and it not that it's their responsibility, but the canceling had an effect that it ultimately led to us shutting our studio down. You would think there would be animosity there. There wasn't. I still think the world of Scott Rohde, who was the guy who pulled the trigger. I thought the world of him the day I sat in my car and got the message and texted him back and forth about, we're going to have to pull the plug. That doesn't mean I'm mad at Sony. I'm not. Do I hate? Yeah, I'll use the word hate. That's what came up. Do I hate a couple of people over there from like a PR standpoint? I mean, I don't know them, but I hate their behavior. Yeah. Do I think Sony might be getting a little too conservative? Yeah, I do. But why do we exist in a world where if you say anything about anything that's not just let me fucking suck your dick for you, Sony, everything you do is brilliant, then I'm some kind of hater where something must have happened, right? It just pisses me off because I work really hard to make things clear to people. I work really hard to be able to be honest. And the result of being honest is shit like this. It wasn't 2 days ago, maybe it was yesterday, I put up a fucking 3-hour stream saying these kind of games will kill Xbox. And I was talking about the goddamn cockadoodie Xbox developers that now they have to figure out how they're going to have a green light program that makes games that are a little bit more commercial if they're going to keep spending that money. Well, that's not anti-Sony, is it? No. No, it's not. Humans are obsessed with controlling narrative, says Mutant Mo. They might be. Is somebody call the goddamn phone? Somebody call the red phone. I need to know if it's working. Am I mad at Cory Barlog? You need to surpass Cory. I am not mad at Cory Barlog at all. I like Cory. He's salt of the earth. He's good people. Rob the Mod, yes, I'm responding to your direct message. Yes, but I'm streaming. Rob, you're supposed to be in here modding with Bukaki. I don't care. It's not like he gets paid. But anyway, yes, Rob, when I wrap up the stream, I will reach back out to you, buddy. Jaffe's eating up all the bait. Fuck you, Steffi. I'm not eating up shit. I'm just saying it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's move on. Let's actually talk about some news going on today. Look, you think I'm a shill for the Sony folks? Listen to this. I mean, look. Where in the fuck is Jason Schreier? Where's the hero that we need? Fuck you, Rathy. Rathy's like, apologize to Rob. I've been talking to Rob on DM all morning, you fuck. Cannibal Lecter, you're on the show. Cannibal Lecter. It's your time to shine, boy. Make the most of it.
What's up?
What do you mean, what's up? Can you not tell?
No. Just, saying hi. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir? What's going on, man?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good. Just want to have a talk about, of course there's the controversial stuff, but as you know, I'm more for discussing games. How are you enjoying Star Wars?
Oh, well, I will be... Hello, Rob. Rob, I'll get back to you. I promise. I just got your thing. How am I enjoying Star Wars? Wait a minute. Are people calling on the phone? It says I have 3 missed calls. Why is it not ringing? Okay, I'll do the... don't call yet. I'll fix it in a second. We're going to be talking about Star Wars today, but what I can tell you is I like Star Wars quite a bit. I'm having a great time with it. I think it's... and I am not... Like, I saw somebody last night on Twitter when I was talking about Star Wars going... it's clear he hadn't played it because he's just like, oh, those games suck and they're all the same and all this. And I'm just like, why do you, just don't talk. Just stop talking if you don't have data because you're a moron. The whole point of this game is they really have reinvented it. And we will talk more about it in detail in a little bit. I don't care if somebody loves this game, hates this game, or is just meh. But you don't get to have any respect amongst people if you just want to act like you've played it when you haven't. The game plays very different than any other Star Wars Lego game they've ever made. Yeah. And I'll tell you something else. All it takes is to play it for 5 seconds, because the Lego Star Wars or the Lego games that you're used to always have that sort of semi-removed, or it's always removed, but semi-removed, semi-tracking camera. This is a third-person shooter. I mean, I'm not saying that changes everything, but to assume that...
But isn't that getting old?
No. We can talk about that too, but it's not that kind of game. It's not that kind of shooter. It's not that... I never said the third-person shooter was getting old. I said I was responding to Corey S.'s comment saying, hey... Are you getting tired of the Sony formula? And then he went on and listed the ingredients that go into the Sony formula. One of them that he listed was third-person camera. So anyway, though, I love Star Wars. Have you played it?
No. Hence the reason I'm asking.
I think it's great.
So, okay. No, it's like one of the things, of course, I'm always happy with specifically with the Lego games is how they do co-op. And... it is amazing that specifically if most of these, grown old gamers tend to have games, actually it's interesting that a family that has kids, more than 50% of them at least has 2 or more. So having a co-op game really do help. Like couch co-op really does help in terms of, getting those games for kids. Like if you think about it.
I don't know. I don't know how this game would work for kids. Like the Lego games traditionally, I would play them with my, when they were like 6 and 8, and they could totally hang in there. This game, because the controls are more complicated, you have camera control for the first time.
Jeffy,
Yeah.
kids are playing Fortnite these days.
Yeah, but
You don't, you
not
don't have to worry about
not on a controller though. I'm just saying that
No.
well, no, no. Listen. I there's no doubt there are kids out there that are interested in playing games that would have no problem with Lego Star Wars. You're absolutely right. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the example of dads like I was a parent. My kids, when they were 6 and 8, were playing like Club Penguin, right? I'm not saying they don't play Minecraft and Star Wars now. They do, but they also were playing that then. But when they sat behind a console and they had lots of shit shooting at them and attacking them, kids that age, 6, 7, 8, they were more comfortable and their friends were more comfortable when they didn't have to worry about the camera. Anyway, whatever. No, all right, Cannibal, I'm going to let you go. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Oh, Lord, buddy. It better be interesting. Go. I'm going to hang up if it's not go.
That's a bingo.
Oh, my goodness. I just got... Let me ask you a question. When you say that to me, I get tingly in the nether regions. When you say that to yourself, does that do that for you, or you have to have somebody else say something different?
No, just, Hans Landa comes down from the heavens and with his, with his mark, and channels through me, and I
understand. All right. Okay, thank you, buddy. I love you, buddy. Hang on, let me get this call. I know there's no sound. That was a fella calling me saying a colleague that I had worked with in the video game biz was calling for a reference. And they says to me, would you be interested in talking about this individual? And I said, I would love to talk about that individual. He's one of my favorite individuals who works in the video game business. I hope Cannibal Lecter doesn't think I was, being disrespectful. I got to move the show, baby. All right, we got to call on the red phone. Red phone is in, babies.
Call from
Dan Rapp.
You goddamn right.
To accept, press 1. To
Press
send a
1.
voicemail, press 2.
Hello?
Hello, is that Mr. Chappie?
It works. So wait a minute. So can you guys in the chat hear this phone call? Can you guys hear this guy calling in right now? Hang on, Dan. Say something, Dan Rath.
Hey, buddy, I'm just a big fan, and I think you're awesome, and I really want you to be making some more games.
All right, hang on. Don't go anywhere. I want to see if they heard that. I will respond to that. Did they hear it? Yes, but he's low. Okay, let me turn him up. All right, you should be good to go. So you think I'm awesome and you want me to make more games. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, God of War was such a good game until other people kind of got a hold of it, and I just love that, and I love the Twisted Metal. Can't wait for the show to come out, and I know you're a busy guy, but I just really can't wait for something else to come out.
I'll have something come out. Listen, it's a little low. Okay, let me try to turn you up real quick. Hang on a second, bud. One moment.
Hang on, I'm gonna do something.
Hello, Brett Williams. Good to see you.
How's that?
That's better. What did you do?
I took it off speaker.
God damn it, sir. So look, what I'll tell you is, I mean, seriously, I'm not even fucking with you. If I called Sony and said I want to come back and make a new God of War or whatever, they'd probably say no, because I've probably burned too many bridges. But even if I hadn't burned too many bridges, they have the formula down now. They've moved it ahead. Why would they want me to come back when they had what a lot of people call game of the goddamn decade with that game, right?
But I was such a big God of War fan, and then with the annoying kid and that same boss was just a different skin on it over and over and over and over again. Just got a little bit repetitive.
I will tell you that I very much loved actually the last God of War. I thought it was great, but do I think it was my God of War? No, and that's what a lot of people loved about it. I think Corey did a brilliant job of taking what was there and really flipping it and evolving it for more modern gamers. I think that's wonderful, but it didn't feel like God of War to me, and that guy doesn't feel like Kratos to me. So, but it's still a fucking phenomenal video game. But no, I'm done for a while, if not permanently. I don't like doing that as much. I like doing this. I like that I can sit on my ass and talk to you guys and smoke pot and drink Diet Coke. Why would I go back to work? It's hard, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Making games is fucking
hard. Have you gotten through Elden Ring yet?
No. I got to I don't know where I got to because it's so non-linear, but I played about 140 hours of it. I'm dying to go back to it. You probably saw this today. Somebody released a PC mod or videos where they detach the camera, and it's kind of this weird third person. It looks like it's a miniature of all the Elden Ring sections. It's so... Do I have it? Let me see if I have it up. It's so cool and so interesting. But no, I'm going to go back to it. But right now, I'm spending a lot more time in the Star Wars at the moment.
So 100 and the Star Wars Lego?
Yeah.
It's good, eh?
Are you from Canada?
I am. Is that show?
Is that what?
do I have a weird accent or what?
Well, you said A, and that made me think of Avril Lavigne. Listen to me. I want to tell you something real quick. What do you think about this? This weekend, Alexa Bliss got married. You know who Alexa Bliss is?
No.
She's a beautiful, very sexy wrestler from the WWE. She gets married this weekend. Her bridesmaids, or at the wedding, is Avril Lavigne. What? And Debbie Gibson, who when I was in high school I had a crush on her. So I've got Alexa Bliss, Avril Lavigne, and Debbie Gibson all at the same wedding. And I've never masturbated to People magazine before, but it's happened now. It has happened now. So I appreciate you calling, sir. Thank you, bud.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, anytime. All right, there we go. Marco, thank you for the super chat. He says, you've heard what the journalist... Oh, God. Is this... Oh, you're a moron. I'm going to read it because you paid for it, but you're a moron. Come on. Like, what's funny is I literally just conversed about masturbating to People magazine, and you think me saying wanker is going to, like, make me go, you old so-and-so. Marco spent $5 of his money to go, hey, Jaffe, you've heard what the journalist Wayne Kerr said about you, haven't you? Come on, you moron. Rob the Mod. Yes, Rob, I am well. I hope you are well as well. Do you know what Rob found in his dungeon? He found a picture of and I can tell you this because he told me I can make a GIF out of it. Are you okay? Look at Steph. She's like sick. What happened to you, buddy? He says he found a picture of his brain scan from, X number of years ago. And that's all I got. Anyway, I hope you're well, Rob. Okay. Okay, so the red phone works. Call if you want to. In the meantime, let's talk about some video game news. Look at this. What are we doing? What I was saying about Jason Schreier, I says, little Jason Schreier, and I'm not even fucking with you. This is a guy who clearly loves to do investigative reporting. Would you please, Lil J, go figure out what the fuck is happening at Microsoft? Certain Affinity is a development studio that has worked with Microsoft, I think, for over a decade, helping out with Halo, right? That's not uncommon, right? There's a lot of, of these sort of outsourced groups that will work with them, a lot of companies. We had it even with Drawn to Death. So all sizes work with teams like this to step in and kind of, carry some of the load, okay? And that's great. But this is ridiculous. They're basically saying they're going to be carrying more of the load. The rumor is that they may very well be coming up and doing a total brand new mode, all done at certain affinity. What exactly is wrong with 343 Studios? And I don't mean that like, let's get all ranty and let's hate on Xbox. No, when I bring this up, it's not me being a fanboy, because clearly, according to these people at the start of the stream, I hate Sony, so, it's me going, what is happening? As a guy who's worked in games, I've been around enough to see when things are in trouble or when management's fucking up or whatever. And you just got to start to wonder what is occurring over at 343 and perhaps Microsoft specifically, that would suggest the level of not incompetence, but incompetent management. I loved the campaign, Matt, and I loved the multiplayer. I'm not saying the game they put out is bad, but it's a service-based game, and I'm not, we don't have to relitigate the thing. It's clear I don't understand what's happening. That's what I'm more curious about. If anybody has any theories, Brett Williams says, I'm pretty sure it's part of the overall management issues with Xbox. I don't think 343 is a bad studio, just poorly managed. But why? What, let's just look at it at a meta level. Forget they're making video games. They could be making hamburgers. It doesn't matter. But at some point, I did finish Halo Infinite, yes. At some point, you have to look, someone with some level of oversight has to be looking at these games and going, why are we consistently having so many fucking problems? And then the question becomes, once it's been recognized, which it has to have been recognized ad nauseum up in was it Washington where they are? They're not launching rockets to the moon or to Mars. Fix it. How is this hard? Companies every day fix this. I just don't understand. I'm not trying to act like some, Monday morning quarterback. These are smart people. I've met some of them. They're good people. They're nice people. But what are they fucking doing? Doesn't it make you just wonder, like, why is this hard? I wonder where we're going to go next in God of War, says Legends. China, Japan, India, or Egypt. My guess is Egypt. I don't think we will go to Japan. I don't think we'll go to China. India probably doesn't have the mythology that is as well known as Egyptian mythology around the world just because of movies and stuff. My guess would be Egypt. Jafari says, Jaffe, it's so weird. It's their flagship game, and then the show. Oh, the TV show. I'm not a fan particularly of Halo, but I feel sorry for the fans. I feel sorry for me because this Halo made me a fan of Halo, right? And it's not that I hated it in the past, but I never really engaged with it all that much. And so, for me, a lot of people say, how can you say the new game is better than 3 or whatever? It's like, I didn't play 3. This is all new to me, right? For the most part. So it makes me wonder, for me, I'm like, well, I was really getting into it. I kind of sort of liked the show even. So you think it's because of 343's new engine, says Carlos, isn't flexible for updates unlike Unreal? Well, Carlos, it's a great point. I appreciate that. I was not aware they were using a brand new engine, which you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't fucking know it. It's not like you look at it and go, oh my God, but boy, it was worth it. And again, that may be something that the people at, I don't know, I hate to be a dick, but the people at 343 don't have any experience with, or at Microsoft. I know you're like, Microsoft, Chaffee, what, they don't experience with code and tech? No. But when we had product development, when I was there all throughout, up until the day I left Bartlett Jones, there was always some Weisenheimer programmer. Yeah, I use the term. There was always some Weisenheimer programmer that's like, I can do a better engine. Let us write our engine. It'll make the game look better. We can write down to the metal of the console. And, you know, some teams are capable of it. Sony's teams that have been working on it for decades, they're capable of it. Not all of Sony games use it. But somebody at a production level, either at 343 or Microsoft, should have been able to have some oversight and say, I know you want to write an engine, and that's great. And we should have one of those. But you know what? Now's not the time. Now's not the time. These things take a long time to get right, a long time to train up on, to get the bugs out. Just go on over and work on Unreal 4, and then meantime, we'll have a skunk work crew dealing with the internal engine. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. So who knows, man? I did run Bartlett Jones, Lord Garth, me and Nick Conanellos. Truth Teller says Odie is a PlayStation fanatic. I don't even understand that shit. Listen to this. Oh, okay. I got to tell you guys something. Let's change the subject. I'm listening to Colin Moriarty's show yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. And him and Dustin and Chris Raygun said something pretty interesting, which I hadn't thought about when it comes to PlayStation Plus. Okay, so I have been subbing to PlayStation Now on and off since it was available. Okay, just I love the idea. The streaming works for me. I don't really love it because of the software library, right? Because there's just not much there. So anyway, though, when the announcement for PlayStation Plus 2.0, whatever it is, came out, and they were talking about it being, they said, well, it's going to be all these new games. If you subscribe to the highest tier, you're going to have like 700 games, 730 games, whatever. And I'm listening to Colin and Dustin and Chris talk about it, and I'm just like, they're talking about it as if we really can't pass judgment much on what we think about the new service until we know what those games are, right? And I was like, what do you mean? Isn't it just going to be more of what we have on PS Now, right? Well, then there's this thing that comes out. This is from Cultured Vultures, who say 10 PS1 games we'd love to see on PlayStation Premium. And I'm like, so maybe those of us who have been PlayStation Now customers don't understand PS Plus 2.0 because we're anticipating it just being more of the same, right? So like these guys, Culture Vultures, are saying, oh, we would love Bushido Blade 1 and 2. I'm like, oh, I forgot about those. Those are really good. I played those recently. Chrono Trigger, yeah, that'd be great. Dino Crisis would be great. Legacy Kane, whatever. Metal Gear, whatever. Parasite Eve would be great. What's the one with the two ladies that were into each other? Fear Factor would be great. Siphon Filter doesn't hold up. Tekken 3, whatever. And I'm like, okay, so it becomes a little bit more interesting to me only from a retro standpoint if the philosophy of the kind of games that these guys are going to have is really more curated like this. But if you go to PS Now, and I think PS Now has, let me just type it in, how many games PS Now? Let's see. PS Now has 800 games, right? So if you go to PlayStation Now right now, and it does check that box, I'm just assuming it's going to be shit like this. But if you're not watching and you're listening, I mean, this, it's stuff that we've played. It's either new stuff that's kind of old. This is day one, but new stuff that's kind of old, or, just, it feels like, bargain bin shopping, or, buying used games at GameStop. So I am curious if maybe there's a different philosophy that Colin and the Cultured Vulture guys are picking up on, going, oh, no. We're not just going to be throwing, games like we do now on PS Now, like Handball 16, Hamster Ball, Hamilton's Great Adventure, right? This is the kind of shit you currently have on PS Now. Not only But I mean, if you remember this game, this was like this was like a terrible puzzle game that first came out on the PSP. I'm like, what the fuck do I want that for, right? Truth Teller says, don't pay attention to that fanboy cult. You experience and love for games are above that trash. I don't know who you're talking about. It could allow you to play the games you didn't want to buy, says a cat. Well, maybe that's true. Metal Gear is a brilliant classic. I'm just saying most people who want to play Metal Gear have played it in various formats since then. Is there a direct PS Store purchase for older titles? No. At the moment, no. But even that, Max Ankar, Onimusha, is out on a lot of different systems already, right? I'm not saying that's, if they had Onimusha 3, that would be cool. But a lot of these, like Metal Gear, I don't need to play I don't need to have PS Plus 2.0 to play Metal Gear. But some of these, would be cool. Ikari Warriors. Oh my God, Maxwell. Jesus Christ. That's a deep cut, and that shows the world how old we are. But I'm not ashamed of it, Max. I like being older. Tenchu does not hold up, Mr. Orange. And this is the other thing I don't think a lot of these people understand. This is a shoot the shit stream, so I don't feel guilty about showing you this. I don't feel guilty about showing you this, okay? Hang on. Adam Driver. I like Adam Driver. My favorite thing Adam Driver does is when he does the what's it called? The undercover boss where he's Kylo Ren. and that here and the girl says, the boss comes out. Everybody knows he's Kylo Ren, but he doesn't think everybody knows. And the boss comes out, or he comes out and shows he's the boss to this girl. And he's like, you can do anything. You're great. And she says, one day I want to be a pilot like Luke Skywalker. And then he pulls out his lightsaber and kills her. And he goes to her ear and says, and you'll die like Skywalker too. Okay, Boomer. And she just dies. It's so good. Just wait. I know a lot of people praise the Sun would like the option to buy the games, but that is one of the things Colin and the guys at Sacred Symbols were talking about the other day. Was that, it sucks we can't buy them if we like them.
Call from
Jake.
Hey, it's Jake. How you doing, pal?
I'm good, Jeff.
What's up?
All right, so I saw a post on the Reddit the other day, and I just wanted to make a statement about it. So I saw someone say that they were not willing to try and play the new Yakuza Like a Dragon. Well, I guess it's not new. It's already been out for like a year.
Right.
But they were not willing to even give it a try because, obviously the major component used to be a 3D beat-em-up, and now they've changed it to a turn-based RPG.
Right. I played a little bit of it.
Okay. So, anyways, my message to that person or anyone who's on the fence as a longtime Yakuza lover is give it a chance. The game itself looks and feels and tastes and smells like any old Yakuza game before it. And I think the best way to describe it is it's like the old Yakuza games if they got infused with the South Park RPGs. And it's a really good time. And if you're on the fence, just give it a chance. I think it'll change your mind.
Well, and it's currently on, is it still on Game Pass?
I believe so. And well, I don't have an Xbox, but I did remember seeing something that Sega was putting the whole franchise on Game Pass, I thought.
I believe
but I don't know how true that is.
No, that's absolutely true. I just didn't know how long it was up there for, but I'm not sure about if it's on PSN or PS Now or whatever. But no, Gene Park, if you guys know Gene Park from the Washington Post, very wonderful game journalist, one of the few great game journalists out there, he said that was his favorite game last year. It's absolutely worth looking at if you're even semi-curious. I agree. Thanks for letting people know, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks for watching, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
There goes Jake. End of the night. I want to show you guys this real quick. You guys were talking about Tenchu. And this is, you know, if you're on the fence about, hey, do I need to go out of my way to acquire, I don't know what that is. What was that? Oh, John, thank you for subscribing. John R. John Riccatello. Zing! Hang on. Come on, man. I can't find it now. But you can go online and you can play all these games if you have a PC and an emulator. And you can play them in your browser, right? So, PlayStation emulator browser Tenchu. And I can tell you, we did a stream a while ago. And Tenchu, I used to adore. Tenchu doesn't hold up. Tenchu does not hold up. Jaffe, should Halo's Infinite score be decreased since it's not holding up after a few months? Similar to how games get better, says Bacon. No. Well, no. Unless that particular score was given, and part of the giving of it, the score they gave was to suggest
Call
that...
from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Was to basically suggest that the game would ultimately get better or have more content, and that's where the score came from. But assuming that that's not part of the initial review, there's no reason to change the score because it's reflective of what they shipped with. All right, what's up with you on the phone?
It's Pete Turtle.
Well, where are you calling from, buddy?
I'm from New York.
No, I know, but why are you not on the Discord?
Oh, because I thought you wanted people calling from the number.
The fuck sound is that? Are you in... You sound like you're in a war zone.
Really? I don't know. I'm in my bedroom.
Are you playing a game?
No, what the hell do you hear? Should I just call you from Discord?
What the fuck was that? Do it again, Pete Turtle. Do it again.
Wait, do what? I'm laying down.
Oh, is that what happens when you touch yourself?
No, I don't do that stuff. Can you hear me good?
Oh, I know what it is. Hang on. That's Tenchu. All right, what's up, Pete Turtle?
Yeah, what's going on, man? I was calling because, I have an issue with guys.
I know
like
that.
Yeah, no, like a lot of guys I've noticed, like especially like you and the Colin Moriarty. I don't know how to say his last name, but that guy.
It's a real tough one.
Yeah, and the guys he does the podcast with, and a lot of other people. They act like you guys will act like you're above being like fanboys.
Wait a minute. People are saying you're really low. Is there any way you can make your sound louder?
No, I mean I'm just on my phone.
I got it turned up all the way over here, fellas. I don't think there's anything. Let me make sure. God damn. Hang on.
Good. Hey, you sound like you're dying.
Sorry, what, buddy?
Are you okay? You sound like you're dying.
No, I'm just sneezing from the pot, baby. So listen. Okay, fanboy. Okay, you have a very good point, believe it or not, but I think it depends on how you use the term. If I'm a Marvel fanboy. I'm a comic book fanboy. I'm a PlayStation fanboy and a Game Pass fanboy. But fanboy, if you just mean fan, and fanboy are synonymous, then I agree with you. It's not a bad thing. But a lot of people, and you know this, use the term fanboy to suggest someone who is irrational and fanatical about their fandom, and they are unable to actually have meaningful, interesting conversations with you about the fandom because they're cult members.
Right. But that's the issue I have with you.
What's the issue?
The issue is I think you guys look down on the medium and you don't take it serious enough. Like, there's people like that who are sports fans.
Give me an example. Give me an example. How do I look down on the medium?
I'm a New York Knicks fan, right?
No. Give me an example of how I look down on the medium of video games.
Well, I don't think you play enough games, or the old. Well, it looks like you're playing more games now than you did back in the day, and then I think you.
Yes, because I was designing and creating them back in the day. So
okay, but then don't go around saying like the fucking new Ratchet and Clank is a classic when it objectively sucked compared to the originals. It absolutely sucked.
I was there when they made the originals, you moron.
Well, then you didn't play it? Did you play it?
You goddamn right. I played almost all of them, and I played every one of them at least a little bit, including the fucking PSP ones.
There's no way. You must have played those games the way I played Gears 5. There's no way.
With one hand?
No, with my eyes closed, because Gears 5 was awful.
It was not awful. It was fun.
It was an awful game with Kate the Barista. And that's the thing. You enjoy these games like Horizon Forbidden Breast or freaking, what's the Sony Spider-Man game where they threw in Mary Plain Jane? You know, like, the games used to have style and substance, and they don't have that anymore.
You are a moron.
I want to make my point.
There's another point?
My point is this. I've been a Knicks fan since I was born. They have almost always sucked since I've been alive. Nobody comes at me for that. They in fact, as a sports fan, you get credit for sticking with your team when they suck. Right?
Can you buy a house? Can you buy a house with that credit? What does it give you? By the way, I've stuck with Auburn as a kid in Alabama. I literally wore an Auburn sweatshirt on a flight to Alabama or home from Alabama, and I got the worst dirty looks from people because 90% of people in Alabama love the Alabama team, and I love the Auburn team. Don't fucking tell me about loving the underdog, bitch. But I'll tell you something.
Okay.
The new Ratchet and Clank is a classic. And here,
it's not a classic. Let me tell you something.
It is a classic.
Why is nobody talking about it anymore? Why did that game just fade into the abyss? Are you there, Jeffy?
I'm trying to comprehend what one thing has to do with the other. The game is phenomenal.
A classic game has to have some sort of notoriety. It has to have something to make it a classic. It might be a classic to you, but that's not a classic game. Nobody cares about the new Ratchet and Clank. And I've seen a lot of people, even fans, say that the soul has been sucked from that game.
What do you think the soul of Ratchet... Let's be clear. When I say Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is a classic, it's because I'm talking about how brilliantly they have executed on the formula that they have been banging away on for well over a decade. The piece of execution that is that game is a classic. You will find no game that looks better right now on any service, any console. You will find no game that has the sublime control, the variety, and the seamlessness transition between the way they tell a story and the way they let you play the game. Okay? But if
my God, are you kidding me?
But if you want to talk about the soul being sucked out, Ratchet and Clank was always a C-level wannabe Pixar movie, which is why the movie came out and nobody went to see it. It's good for a video game, but you don't. It's not like you're like, whoa, a crazy animal and his sidekick. I've never seen that before. It's like it's Ratchet and Clank. It would be like a one-season one-off on Nickelodeon cartoons, and then they would cancel it if it wasn't for the notoriety and the brilliance it had gotten in the game. You know it. I know it. Stop lying to yourself, Pete Turtle. Jesus Christ, when will this end?
All right. Can we get to the point of, again, why I say guys like you, I don't like how you guys attack fanboys. Now, me...
I attack idiots.
I'm not a fanboy.
I attack idiots, not fanboy, not fans.
If that's how you want to say it. I don't have a problem with fanboys because I look at them like Auburn State fans or Knicks fans. There's no reason to be a fan of these teams when they suck that bad.
Listen,
you're literally a fan of just the colors. But then
Shadow Rage, fuck you. Shadow Rage says Pete Turtle got a point. Pete Turtle don't got shit. Let me tell you something.
Oh my God! And I look at people like you who then go and you attack fanboys because you're a fan of the box. No, they're a fan of the brand. All right.
They're a fan of the what? The fan of the what?
Of the brand. Listen.
Who gives a shit? What's the difference? It's a non-real, non-entity that doesn't give a shit about you.
It's not. It doesn't have to care about you for to enjoy the way they make their games, the games they have, the IPs they have, and the way they make them.
But then this is where you fuck up your argument. Because I would suggest, if you are right, and I push back against people that are more fans of the brand than the experience that the person is having when they are engaging with the brand, I would offer up the suggestion that you don't then get to say I look down on the medium. The reason I mock Fanboys is because I am a fierce protector of the games and of the medium, and I don't care who makes them. I don't care who makes them. I don't care how they sell them. I will play them on a fucking phone. I will play them on a fucking drone. I will play them in a park. I will play them in the dark. I will play them jumping a hurdle, but I will not play them with you, P Turtle, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I think that's you trying to virtue signal, and why I say guys like you are embarrassed by the medium is because I think you guys try to show, we're not nerds. We don't care about video games that much. You know, it's like and I know you said this before too, like, imagine caring about what a character wears in a game. Like, who cares about that? Go out and get a girlfriend.
I never said go out and get a girlfriend.
You guys poo-poo on the medium. You guys don't take it serious enough. But I bet you if it was a movie, again, if it's sports, you guys will whine. You guys will cry. You guys will be fans to the end of time.
Let me tell you something, Pete Turtle. Let me tell you something, Pete Turtle.
Go ahead. My bad. You said what? You said what, Jeff? Hello?
I smoked a little pot, Pete Turtle. I gotta go. My mom's calling and she's dead.
Okay, that's why I'm destroying you in this argument.
You're not
Usually you put up a better fight.
Because I think what you're saying is horseshit. I mean,
I don't see how. But
I know, but that's why the argument's stupid. It's like you bring something up, I counter it, and you say nope. I'm like, well, what am I going to do with that?
No, because you're trying to do wizardry to try and change the argument a little bit to find a point. When I think my point is as clear as day.
Did you just say I'm trying to do wizardry?
Wizardry, yes.
Okay.
Like a wizard. You basically use words to create spells so that people can be fooled by what you say.
Okay, that's what a wizard does, is it? You're a wizard, Jeffy. Okay, well, anyway.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. What they do is they try to shift the argument in a subtle way.
There's nothing subtle, you moron. What I'm telling you is I think people who are fans to a brand or a console at the expense, or at all, let alone at the expense of the actual medium, are kind of stupid. And they have no right to have an opinion that they think stands shoulder to shoulder with mine or Collins or anyone else that you're talking about. Because we do respect the medium.
What Sony does. If they're fans
what do they do? What does Sony do?
They enjoy these lame single-player games with these lame characters. That's their right. That's what they enjoy. Just like I enjoy going to the Knicks because they represent New York.
Okay, so what video? This is the last question because I got to get somebody else on. But what video game company brand are you a fan of? Fuck you, Drive By Joe.
Right now, I'm not a fan of all three of them, but the one that I think is doing the best that appeals to me is Nintendo.
Okay.
And I actually have not been a Nintendo fan since I was young.
Okay.
But after seeing for the past generation what Sony's been doing with their lame games and Xbox what they're doing with their lame games, I just appreciate Nintendo focuses on games.
But who do you think I'm making fun of? I have given nothing but props to a number of Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo first-party games.
I'm not saying you haven't.
So how am I looking down on the medium or looking down on people who like...
I think when you do imagine being a fan to a box. Well,
yeah.
You know what they're a fan of.
Okay, well, let me fucking tell you the last thing. I'm going to have the last word. I'm going to hang up. Thank you for calling, Pete Turtle. I appreciate it as always. Call back anytime, buddy, except right now. Let me tell you something. I'm a fan of Auburn football. More often than not, they're terrible. They're probably terrible, not for the least reason, is that in Alabama, where the Crimson Tide play, if you're going to get someone to move their fucking life from anywhere in the world to come play at in Alabama, because Alabama's getting better, but it's still Alabama. You're probably going to go play with one of the number one teams on the planet. It's hard to recruit the talent you need to win when you're Auburn, okay? I can criticize the fuck out of Auburn. As much as I loved the last coach they had, I was thrilled when they fired him. Because the man could only win a game when he got fucking lucky, okay? So what I'm telling you is that's a fan. But when I literally put out a video yesterday saying these are literally it was called "These Games Will Kill Xbox" or something, but literally I am criticizing Xbox, and then I turn around and say I loved Halo, I loved Forza, I love Game Pass, and people are like, you're a Sony hater. That's the problem I have with Fanboys, is you can't actually engage with them in actual discourse. You have to pat them on the heads and treat them like little fucking idiots in the corner, because that's the problem. That's the fucking problem, is you can't engage with them. You just can't do it. David Jaffe, the porn addict, $1. You know what? I'm going to tell you something, you fuck. You're the same guy who paid me money yesterday to say David Jaffe likes big white women. Look, David Jaffe, the porn addict, I definitely am not. But I will tell you, I know that's a real thing. I know people who have suffered from porn addiction, and it'll wreck you, baby. It'll wreck you. Zero Signal, thank you for being a member for the last 4 months. I appreciate that, sir. He says, we love brands. Go Whirlpool. Go Nobu Kenmore. Can you imagine? Listen, this dishwasher is the best dishwasher in all of the world. And you really, they got to be out there. They got to be out there. I got another super chat in. This is from Drive By Joe. He wants you to know P Turtle is great. Number one, thank you for the generosity in the super chat, Drive By Joe. Number two, go fuck yourself. Okay, now we shall move on and talk about something different. Okay, here we go. David loves pogs. What is a pog? How does it ruin people? How does porn addiction ruin people? It ruins people because they spend insane amounts of money, which is bad, that they don't have to spend. And more importantly, if you engage with it exclusively or almost exclusively, it really warps your view of what actual sex is like. It's probably the equivalent of... I don't know, I'm trying to think. Watching The Office every day for 5 years, and you think office work is like that. And then you go get a real job, and you probably could use the job, and you probably could grow at the job and all this shit, but you're perpetually disappointed because where's the funny people making the jokes all the time? It gives you an absolute incorrect perspective of the world if that's all you engage with. I will bring you in, Alien, in one moment. Downfall Media, thank you, buddy. It's Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, he says, was amazing and I loved it. I've been gaming since the 80s. P Turtle is smoking crack. People complain about the new God of War. Everybody loves to whine. You goddamn right. Thank you for being a member. You know I love it. You're a member. We got bestcams.fun. Hot girls, get on in there. Thank you so much, RPG. Thank you so much, Rob the Mod. You guys are badass motherfuckers. I'm going to respond to Alien Vertex. Alien Vertex, it's David Jaffe. How you doing, boy? Everything all right in your world? He's not listening. All right, let's move on. But you're on the show if you want to talk, man. Let's talk about.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up? I think you're watching the stream. Don't watch the stream. Listen to your phone or your Discord. Otherwise, you're going to have a delay.
Dave.
Yes, hello.
David?
Oh, my God. Yeah. Sir, yeah, you are on a delay. Turn off your stream.
Hey, Dave. I hear you.
What?
It's Max.
Oh, hey, Max. I'm like going, what the fuck? How are you, man?
Good. Just sitting here working, listening to your awesome chat.
Listen. Oh, yeah, the Tenchu point. Okay, Matt, you guys, does it bother you every time you call in or you talk, I tell people who you are? I'm so excited that, you know, there are people out there that would lose their shit. But if it makes you embarrassed, like, I won't tell people who you are.
Fine.
Max, I love this. Max, you guys don't know. You don't know. Max was the lead special effects artist on every single God of War game that came out of Sony Santa Monica, from the first one up until Ragnarok, and he worked on Ragnarok a little bit as well. The reason this excites me so much is whenever people call me and they say, I love God of War, Jaffe. Thank you for God of War. It made my childhood, blah, 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 which I appreciate very, very much. I always praise the team. And it is not lip service. It is because I sat there and I know how unsatisfying it was to play Kratos until Max Effects got in. I know how unsatisfying it was when the very first animation of cutting off Medusa's head was there, and it was like, eh. And then Corey came up with the brilliant animation, and then Max and his team went in and put blood and guts everywhere. So it's not just an issue of like, oh, lip service. It's you don't understand. What you love, what you guys say made your childhood, or you girls say made your childhood, I'll take it and pass it on, but you got to understand this guy who's calling in, key reason you love that fucking franchise. Max, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, nothing. I just was, like I said, enjoying your chat. Just,
are you masturbating right now?
No, I'm working on...
You've been in a long time relationship for a very long time. Okay, and I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say her name. I don't think I've ever met her. She's like a very nice lady. But do you, when you hear you as a couple and you sit around and have pillow talk, and you guys talk about Will Smith and Jada Smith, and they say, and you say, oh, they're in an open marriage, they're swingers. Do you guys hear that and go, we should try that? Or do you go, oh my God, dude, never fucking do it? What do you think, Max?
Never in a million years.
Right? I don't know why you would just, because don't you get randomly placed with people when you go to the swinger parties? It's like put your keys in the bowl and you don't know who you're going home with?
Yeah, that would not work.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it, Max.
No way.
Yeah,
no way.
You're goddamn right. So what is up, Max? You're working in a new studio right now. Can I tell them the world in which you're working, or I can't even say that? Like, can I tell them what kind of tech you're working with?
Say the next gen PSVR.
All right, there you go. Next gen PSVR. Oh my God, Maxwell, really? I didn't know you were doing next gen PSVR. I knew you were doing VR. Okay, let me ask you a question then. And this is not giving away anything.
Yep.
Should I wait for the PSVR 2, or should I just bite the bullet and buy an Oculus or a Meta 2? Like, is the PSVR 2 going to be so sexy and cool that I'll never touch my Meta 2, so I should wait?
There's things in there that will truly be groundbreaking.
You got to talk a little louder, a little louder.
Yes, there will be things in the PSVR 2 that will be truly groundbreaking. That's all I'll say. That people will be talking about.
And you are a big fan of VR, so I mean, you know what you're talking about too. I mean, in terms of you've played everything since the beginning, and you're excited by this hardware, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited too. I'm excited. I'm totally excited. I want to pick your brain sometime when the camera's not rolling and the phones aren't on. Bacon Magna has a question for you, Max. He says, Jaffe, ask Max if he was ever sexually harassed at Santa Monica Studios. I heard it's a toxic workplace. I know some shit that happened there that wasn't sexual harassment, but there are definitely some people much later after I left that weren't treated wonderfully. And that's all I'll say about that. But it has nothing to do with sexual harassment.
Yeah, I can't speak for anybody else, but from me, myself, I mean, I've never had any issues at all, but I'm this big, huge, hairy, tall, crazy-looking guy, so...
Dude, you have no... Now you've probably 4 guys on the chat just had an orgasm, Max. Come on, man. Come on, man. So, okay. I got to ask you one more question. What is that? That is true. I mean, how tall are you?
6'2".
Okay. You play football. If you don't know Max, big dude, right? And do you think there's something behind that theory that really big guys tend to be nice, and it's because they have lived a life where they really don't feel all that threatened by anything physical, because we can walk around with the artifice of civilization, but everybody knows when shit goes south, it's dog eat dog, and it's survival of the fucking strongest in the moment. Do you think that is why you're just such a gentle giant, and why there are so many people like you that you're like, yeah, he's big, but he's really fucking nice and sweet? Or do you think that's horseshit?
You know, for me, I was picked on a lot as a kid. So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm nice to people, is because I would never want to be treated like I was, you know?
Okay, not because you know you could pretty much lift anyone who comes at you and put him in the ground.
Yeah.
Wait, that too?
No, I mean, I could do that, but I'm not that way.
You ever been in a big fight? You ever been in a fight? Like,
yes.
As an adult, where you've had to punch somebody?
Yes.
Where did you punch them?
It was on a BART train.
No, Maxwell. What part of the body did you punch them on?
In the face.
And did it knock him out instantly?
Yes.
Oh, did you go to jail?
No.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I know a guy who punched a guy, knocked him out, went to jail. I'm like, he was defending this girl.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of the same thing, you know. A person was picking on somebody on the train, and I told him to shut up, and he got in my face, and, you know, he pushed me, and then I hit him, and that was the end of that.
Well, that should be. Good for you, Max. Max, you are one of my favorite people in this industry. I just adore you, buddy, and even though I don't want to get back into it, if I did, you'd be my first call that would turn me down. But that said, I'd call you first.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
You're welcome, buddy. All right, I'll talk to you later, Max.
All right, have a great day.
You too, man. Yeah, Max is the shit, fellas. Max is the shit. Boy can stink up a bathroom. That's not true. I don't know who it was. It's usually the big guys, but it's Sony Santa Monica. This is crazy, man. I mean, I can't say I helped design the studio, but I mean, me and Shannon and Tim Moss, Barbara House, Alan Becker, John Steele, we hired the architects. We picked the architects. We were very engaged with the layout and stuff. But the one thing that we never thought to think about, and that the architects never thought to think about, was where to put the bathrooms. So literally, you had Shannon Studstill, Yumi Yang, Whitney Wade, all the producers sitting right outside the bathrooms. And it's mostly, at the time, it was mostly dudes at the studio. Not to say that women can't stank it up either, but we had a lot of big dudes. And they stank it up. And so Shannon's only solution that she could come up with was they got these big fucking fans, and they blew this smell out from their cubicles out into the rest of the office, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. Would you guys like to know what the top downloads are? Tenchu. Let's go back to Tenchu for a second. Let me show you this. Let me show you this fucking thing. Steffi says, smells like heaven. Come and try the new Keebler Elves new cracker cookies that smell like the bathroom after a God of War member has used it at Pooh Alley. Listen to me. Here's Tenchu. This was my point. A lot of these... That's too loud. I can't deal with the sound. One of the things that I think it was Dustin on Colin's show was talking about was Scent of a Woman. Oh my God. One of the things that they were talking about, or Dustin was talking about specifically, he says, you know, they're going to have to keep offering things, whether it was, if you ever see me laughing and you don't know why, keep an eye on the screen, because sometimes I'll just click it and I'll put it up there without breaking the thought. But it I don't know what I was talking about. Oh my God. What was I talking about? I don't know. Oh, Dustin. So Dustin says, you know, they're going to have to keep releasing stuff for PlayStation Plus, the games and subservices, and maybe they'll do trophies in a few months. They're going to have to keep it going, because after a couple of months, the nostalgia that brought you there is not going to keep you there, okay? And he's not wrong. I mean, I've played a lot of these on stream before, but yeah, this is Tenchu. which is, I have great fondness for this video game. But it doesn't hold up. Let me see if it'll register my controller. If it won't, I will play with the keyboard. I'm not going to play the whole game. I just want to show it to you. I want to show you how antiquated this thing is. Okay? Here we go. This is the Tenchu. Open it. Why are you not using the grappling hook? Well, I haven't started the game. I got to start the game. Start the fucking game, motherfucker. Alright, no. Fuck. I think you can play it with a keyboard. I've played it before. I just don't know why suddenly it's not recognizing my my controller. Hang on, fellas. Okay. Starto. 8, 9. There's button numbers. Okay, let's try that. 8, 9. Fuck you, Rathy. Fuck you, Rathy. I'm trying to get I have that working, but what's the enter command? All right, Garth, good to see you, buddy. Oh, did I get it? Okay, check this shit out. Okay, it's A, I think. Ay. People are like, really? This is what you're doing, Jaffe? I have news. I want to give you guys news. Fuck it. The point is, it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up. And I think a lot of people are going to ultimately realize after that, they're going to have something more interesting to drop. Rathy says, Jaffe, was there ever anyone at Sony you had dirt on over the years? You know, I mean, yes and no. Nothing. I mean, there's one story I know that I won't share with people because it's not mine to share. But someone shared it with me, and it was about a, relatively high-ranking individual that was much, much, much more handsy than they should have been. But that's all I'll ever say until this person comes out with that story. But I will also say in all of my time, at Sony, never once, other than hearing that story after I left Sony, did I experience anything like we hear that go around in certain companies. But again, I mean, I'm a straight white dude, right? So I'm not saying those things didn't happen, but I wasn't engaged with them. I was not privy to them. Certainly, though, what we did when Sony began, when we were at Sony back in the late 90s, was inappropriate. I've told that story. We've had strippers come into the office and everything. Truth teller, yeah, it was mostly dudes when I was at Santa Monica. Let's talk about the downloads. March's top 20 downloads of the year from PlayStation. All right, let's do the top downloads. Come on now. I'm a little high. Fuck you. Listen, here we go. Number 20, Mortal Kombat. Fuck it. I'll just read them quick because there's a few I want to talk about. Number 20, Mortal Kombat 11. 19, Rainbow Six Siege. Dying Light 2 is 18. 17 is Miles Morales, one of my favorite games I've played in a decade. Love that game. 16 is Among Us. 15 is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Santa Monica God of War alum right there, directed by the good Sir Stig. 14, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 13, Madden. 12, It Takes Two. 11, FIFA. Here we go. Top 10. Sifu, I mean, Sifu did pretty well. It sold 1 million copies, probably well over that now. So coming in at 10 for such a weird, obscure title, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Number 9 is not good. Number 9 is Ghostwire Tokyo coming in at number 9 on the only place you can get it on the console, because it's console exclusive, and it's only number 9 on a download chart on a system that historically has higher download percentages than retail percentages. That's, I wonder what's happening over at Tango Gameworks at this point. Master Puppet says that's great for them. For who? Sifu? Yeah. But not for Ghostwire. Like, are they sitting around now going, we've said we're going to make smaller games, which they have, and we don't have to be horror, which they don't. So I wonder how risky they're going to be after this. I can tell you, when I had my first commercial failure, and I've had a few, fuck you, you've probably had none, so fuck you. When I had my first commercial failure, it was Calling All Cars. And Scott Campbell and I started Eat, Sleep, Play with the idea that we wanted to make more arcadey, mechanics-based, simpler games, almost like Housemarque, but, we were never as successful as Housemarque was. But Calling All Cars comes out, and it got some great reviews. People who played it, a lot of people said they loved it. They still tell me that to this day, which I love hearing. But it didn't sell. And so I remember going to Scott and going, he and I both were having kind of the same thoughts, which is like, okay, I know we were going to do these small kind of arcadey things, but the last one shat the bed. How you feeling about a new Twisted Metal? Because it was a new company, and we were just like, we can't be that risky, man. So I don't know what the guys at Tango Gameworks will do, looking at the sales. At best, disappointment. At worst, out and out failure. As for why Calling All Cars failed, I mean, you can go to IGN, which gave my last game a 4. I think they gave this game a 9. They said it was, I remember this because I was so excited when this review came out, because it was one of the first reviews to drop. They said it was the Geometry Wars of PSN, meaning it was like the first game that you can really play on PlayStation Network that is worthy of like being more than a curiosity, right? Well, it failed because the theme was defanged, because some people on the team didn't want the sex and drugs and alcohol that I wanted in it. And we didn't push back on it. So, all right, let's keep going. Ghostwire Tokyo. Horizon Forbidden West is number 8. That does not have great legs. It absolutely does not. That is the real question for that one. I mean, hell, Miles Morales is still on this list. That came out over a year ago. I wonder about Horizon. I wonder if Horizon's going to show up and basically just sell forever. Because people who play it, most people I've talked to who played it loved it. So I'm surprised it doesn't have great word of mouth. It may just be that Elden Ring right now is taking the sales at the moment from people who want that kind of open world adventure. And maybe when this starts to cool off, this will start to rise back up. I don't know. Morgan says Ghostwire was being made before being acquired. Sure, I know. But they still, as Ghostwire and Bethesda, which are now owned by Microsoft, those people still had to make the greenlight decision. And now that greenlight decision is part of Microsoft's structure. And when you come off a failure like this, you probably reassess what your plans are. The fact that WWE says Andre is way above Horizon in the chart is concerning for Guerrilla and Sony. I don't know about that. I mean, I know I bought it. I buy both of them. I know exactly what you mean, but this is such a big brand that I think this has to do with maybe where it is next month. If this hangs out there, then I think you're right. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, that's okay. Launch, not great, it's okay. NBA 2K 6, 5 Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Grand Theft Auto 5 is 4, 3 is 2K WWE, Number 2 is Gran Turismo. This is Gran Turismo's launch month, so we'll see what the legs this has on it. And then number 1 is Elden Ring, that I assume will be in the top 15 probably until next generation. Jaffe says, Brian East, hey buddy, he says, I see Horizon doing regular updates, so I know they're cleaning it up. It'll look better in the long term. I mean, it may, but I can tell you, I personally never had a problem with how it looks. I think it's a gorgeous fucking game. I just have a problem with, so far what I've played, I don't like the main character at all. I find her obnoxious, but I know they've toned her down in terms of her quips and all that shit. Not her quips, but her giving you hints and talking and everything. And I just kind of felt it was really good, but I've played that kind of game before. But I'm going to give it an open mind once I come back to it when I wrap up some other games I'm currently playing. Gorilla is still putting out patches. It was excellent at launch. That's how you care for a product. Yeah, I mean, of course. I think that's fantastic. I think that's fantastic. Lucas says, I feel bad I helped Elden Ring with the numbers. I hate that game. I don't know, man. I would not be surprised if Elden Ring did not have relatively small or a relatively large return. Because I think it probably did catch a lot of people like, this is what everybody, come on now. Come on now. This is what everybody was hyped for it. And then they played it and were like, it's a little too much. A little too hardcore for me. I loved it, Nebulax. It's probably my favorite game of all time. Top 2. Listen to this. I didn't even know they did this. There's a new chart. You guys know I love charts. You know I love charts, baby. Hillary, I love you. I want to take you into the Oval Office and dress you up like Monica. And then I'm going to fuck you from behind while I'm signing a peace treaty. Hillary, I'm glad you didn't win the presidency. That gives us more time for stooping in the laundry room. Okay, focus. Shut up, truth teller. Let's focus. Come on now. Listen to me. Listen to me. What happened to Mr. Den? Look how sad he got. Look how sad Mr. Den got. And his face, his little avatar is sad too. Look at that. Look at that. Anyway, I didn't know they tracked this shit. The top 10 most tweeted about games of the week. Would you like to know? It's interesting. I didn't know they tracked this. Number 10 is Mr. Den is he's disappointed in me. He's disappointed in me. Number 10 is Minecraft. People are still talking about that. Number 9 is a game called Knives Out, which I know the movie, but I guess there's a mobile game. Number 8 is called what the fuck is that? Number 8 is called come on now, Jaffe. Come on, man. Number 8 is called Fate Grand Order. Number 7 is Elden Ring. Number 6 is Project Sakai Colorful Stage. Number 5 is Final Fantasy. Number 4 is Apex Legends. Number 3 is Ensemble Stars. The top 2 tweeted about video games of the week are: number 2 is Wordle. Makes sense. Number 2 is Genshin Impact. No. Number 2 is Wordle. Number 1 is Genshin Impact. Listen, speaking of that, have you seen this? This is pretty great. This is pretty fucking great. You got to see this. You got to see this. Hang on. You have to have seen this. Have you seen this? This is called High Score Day. Okay, I want to show you this on screen. It's basically Wordle for video games. Gravity, thank you, buddy. Gravity super chats. He says about Tree Fitty. Oh Lord, listen. Shh. Controversial games. What is this game? Well, we know this. This is Mortal Kombat, the original. Okay. Mortal Kombat. First one's always easy. Okay. Ah! I didn't get that one. Okay, well, this is Night Trap. Was that Mortal Kombat 2? That's Night Trap. All right. This is, I know what this is. This is the Twisted Metal racing thing. Carmageddon. Okay, Carmageddon, submit. This is Postal, right? That's not Postal? Oh. Well, what was that? What was this one? That's not, I thought it was Postal 2, Shadow Rage. What? That was the school shooter game. What was it called? The last one's Manhunt. Yeah, but what's this one? Can I go back? Let's see. No, you can't go back. I have to write in Postal 1? Oh, Hatred? Maybe this is Hatred. Okay. And then the last one, yeah, is Manhunt. Okay. Anyway, this is every day. They have a new one. Yesterday was games with werewolves. I didn't do so good. If you want to play it, I'm putting it in the chat right now. If you're listening, it's called highscoreday.com. Okay? There you go. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Lego people. Oh, I do want to tell you one thing real quick. I want to give you some news. GameStop is reportedly canceling Amico pre-orders at Intellivision's request. So people have been getting emails from GameStop saying, due to vendor cancellation, we will be unable to fulfill your order number. We will be canceling your order and you will not be charged. Members of the private Intellivision Amico Club on Facebook have also been reporting a similar message, right? Now, we don't know if Intellivision has canceled all of their orders or only the ones that came through GameStop. Truth teller, it is not a scam. It is absolutely not a scam. I know firsthand it's not. I have been there. They have hardware. They have software. They have teams. They have smart people. It is what is clearly shaping up to be a poorly run business. That I think is potentially true. But no, this was not Tommy Tallarico and his investors trying to fuck people out of their money. It absolutely was not, at least based on what I saw. But I will tell you that, yeah, they're out of money. The last we heard is their only hope is to find a buyer, which they're talking to investors. But the fact that they canceled this doesn't necessarily mean they won't find a buyer. It could, or it could be the buyer's like, yeah, we'll do this, but you got to walk all this shit back. I don't want to get sued by GameStop for not delivering. So you do these things and we'll acquire your company and we'll take over and I have no idea. We don't know what's happening. But here's what we do know for sure. This is what I love. Fully Time says 100% it's a scam. What did I just tell you? I've been there. I've seen it. I've played it. You just simply are right and I'm simply wrong? Okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem being wrong. But how about you offer up some evidence that you think it's a scam, other than just a poorly mismanaged company? Where is that? Otherwise, shut up. Thank you, Cascade. I did see that. Randy Pitchford of Gearbox. I got to talk to Max about this. If you don't know, the Magic Castle is one of the coolest places in Los Angeles. You have to have a member invite you. show business people, actual magicians, entertainers. The dinner's good. They do amazing magic shows, good food, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Randy Pitchford, historically, he's always been a guy who loves magic. Yes, Bacon Magma, because he says, Fooly Time is right. You played the system in a controlled environment. It never went to reviewers. It's not done yet. If it was a scam, though, there wouldn't have been a team and a box to play and games being made and software developers around the world making games for it. A scam implies not that it failed or that it's not coming out, but that they built all of this in order, with the knowledge they would never ship it, they were just taking people's money. And that's not what was happening. They were building stuff with the money. Now, you can build stuff with money. Doesn't mean it's going to be good. Doesn't mean it's going to be shippable. But you guys just saying it, you don't have any evidence. You don't have any experience. Doesn't it bother you to talk out your anal butthole? Like there's an anal butthole and there's a different butthole. Doesn't it bother you? Why not just hit me up and say, oh, it's a scam, Jaffe, because I read this article about the Federal Trade Commission that brought on this lawyer, and usually when that lawyer is brought on, probably 95% of the time, the cases that he wins are scam fraud cases pulling people's money out of VC firms. I'd go, oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. But you just going, it's a scam. Come on, man. Yeah, Van says people say scam when they really mean waste of money. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Anyway, here's the point. He bought the Magic Castle in LA, which the real estate has to have been fucking high. How much did he? I don't think we can find out, but let's enter it. Let's find out if we can find out. How much buy real estate Magic Castle, Los Angeles? Let's see what comes up, fellas. A new owner, yeah. Oh, 40 million. Now that, okay, it was 40 million. No. I don't know, but it was a lot of fucking money. A lot of fucking money. 40 million was something different. Let me see. Maybe that is the site. Yeah, that's just a restaurant. I don't know what it cost, but it cost a lot of fucking money in Los Angeles. Prime real estate in LA, and then it's a historical kind of thing. Okay. The reason I thought this was interesting is, Max, who brought this up to me just now, Max and I have worked on one of the biggest franchises in the industry. And I have worked on that as well as another franchise that was a very successful franchise that to this day is still generating interest, like we're making a TV show now, the Twisted Metal thing, okay? I can't fathom making this kind of money, that I could go out and buy a building in Los Angeles. The Academy, a nonprofit benefit corp, has become a lucrative business. In 2019, it generated $21 million and a net revenue of 1.3. You know he paid bank. And all I'm saying is, and I don't regret it. I don't regret a thing I did in my career, but I will tell you that other than going, and I don't know. See, I wouldn't have had the opportunities to work with the teams that I worked with and create what I got to create. And I wouldn't have had the success I had without that. So I understand that. But a lot of these guys that just started their own company at the very beginning, I can't fathom having this guy's kind of money. He's buying a building in LA that's a magic building. I don't want to talk about that today. I'll talk about that tomorrow. I don't want to talk about that today. I'll talk about it tomorrow. We got to talk about Lego, though. I did get the house I wanted, Dr. Dan. And then I realized that I did not like being a homeowner. It's so much work. It's so much fucking work, man. Listen, let's talk about Lego, because that's what I promised you guys. Hang on. You guys should call Colin and tell him to call into the show right now. I don't care how busy he is. I don't care. He has to call. Who should I call on my phone? No, let's talk about Lego. Okay. Listen to me. Listen to me. Fuck you, Dr. Dan. Fuck you. Fucka you. So, yes, I have, yes, it's called lip balm, you fuck. Listen, I want to talk to you briefly about Lego, because it's important. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga physical sales are higher than Elden Ring. This is a massive hit. This is a massive hit. This is reporting coming from GameSpot. Listen to this. For its first week of physical game sales in the UK, Skywalker Saga had the biggest launch in Lego game history, toppling the previous owner Lego Indie, which is surprising. I love that game, but it's because it's indie. Lego Indie by 8.4%. A specific unit of sales number for the Skywalker Saga is not yet divulged. For physical sales, it is the fastest selling game of 2022, meaning it beat Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West and all other physical games in the UK in their first week. Okay, so it's a mega hit. The reviews are really good. I think it's sitting at an 83 in Metacritic. In terms of platform breakdown, this is GameSpot. PS5 made up 31% of Skywalker Saga's box sales. Switch was 26%. Xbox was 23%. Now, that's actually interesting for two reasons. One reason it's interesting is because that gap is usually bigger. And I don't know if that suggests that more people are buying this particular game on Xbox, because I don't know why. But that gap is usually bigger. That's within 10%, less than 10% of PS5s. But that's not the interesting part. There's a few interesting things about this. One of them is there was a guy on Twitter that came at me or came at someone and said, this is what's wrong with Xbox and Game Pass. It's like, you know that, they had to do Game Pass because people on PlayStation or people on Xbox don't buy games, because you can see it here. And I was just kind of like, dude, no, if you have Game Pass, you don't need to buy any games. If you have PS5 and you want to play something new, every single time, barring a demo, you have to make a financial transaction to a retailer or through the PSN store. So your only option is to buy. That's what that suggests. And it also suggests that if you have an Xbox and they're buying less than other people, it's because every week you're getting new games. You may not like most of them, but there's a few of them you'll like that are always new, or at least new to you. So I'm not saying that PS is better or worse, or Xbox is better or worse. I'm just saying that you don't. This is not proof of anything. It may be suggestive that Xbox owners do buy less, but because they don't need to buy. It would be like going into a grocery store and you already have like a cupboard full of peanut butter. And they're like, you want some peanut butter? And it's like, well, no, I already have some. And then I walk out and people go, demographics show that, guys like Jaffe don't buy peanut butter. It's like, well, I have it already. But here's what's interesting. Here's what's interesting, though. So the game is selling blockbuster. The Skywalker Saga has smashed Lego's Steam user record by 1,200%. Right? So up until Lego, the highest was Lego Marvel Superheroes. They've got 82,000 concurrent users as of reporting on this, which was last week. Okay, so people are into it. People are excited about it. Biggest box launch, selling great over here. A lot of people tell me they can't find it in the stores. Can't find it in the stores. And I will tell you, I can't check those sales, truth teller. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I can tell you it is nowhere in last week's box UK. And I can tell you on the PlayStation chart, it came in at number 5 in March. But we don't know yet how it's doing over in America because we don't get those numbers. But anyway, let's go back to Lego because this is important. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, not only is it selling great, getting great reviews, I can tell you that for me personally, it's fucking great. Hey, baby.
Hi.
So anyway, I can also tell you somebody who's played it. It's great, right? It's not. I am over traditional Lego games. I don't give a fuck about traditional Lego games, even when it's a license I adore. The only Lego game with the old formula I would buy at this point would be the West Wing Lego game, which will never be made, tragically as that is. You can tell why I'm no longer in the industry. But this is great. It's not the traditional Lego. It's not remove camera. It's all over the shoulder. It's first person. It's a third person shooter style thing. Really clever puzzles. Really good humor. A lot of variety. I'm thinking it's fucking great. So I love it too. Okay. Well, so you've got nothing at Warner Brothers Games or nothing at Traveler's Tale Studio, which is part of Warner Brothers Games, other than great news coming in about the success of this game. I didn't say I don't love Lego Indiana Jones. I love it because of the brand. But if you end up taking the Indiana Jones brand away, it's just another typical boring Lego game. But they got nothing but great news coming down the wire for this game. Big success, okay? But it's also a game that Polygon has reported suffered 5 years of development under some bad management, allegedly, a lot of feature creep. A lot of fucking feature creep, okay? Now listen to this. Management at Traveler's Tales coined the phrase strive for 85 to refer to the game's potential Metacritic score. The company's highest Metacritic score at present is 83. Former staff members say constant revisions to the design were not uncommon throughout development, and that this resulted in months of lost work. Amongst these was a new 27-hit combo tree, which was removed after focus tests said that users were only using one button to fight. This is a quote now. The director would request new mechanics on a whim, then ask that they be changed whilst never fixing anything that really mattered, said a former employee. Read every review of a Lego game. They always say the same thing. Platforming is pants. The camera is terrible, no online co-op. So let's add a God of War style tree. 5-year-olds will love it. So this guy's being sarcastic, blah, blah, blah. So they switch management, blah, blah, blah. And the guy running it now, is a guy, last name is Denny. And he made a bunch of changes. Chief among these, says the reporting, is hiring of his former, this is going somewhere. I'm not just reading you an article. I want to link up to why Crunch is good. Or usually, Crunch can be good. It's certainly necessary in a lot of cases. Chief among the changes the new head made, he hired his former Sony colleagues. Eric Matthews, and Mark Green as Director of Game Development and Head of Game, respectively, in 2021. This was controversial inside of Traveler's Tales as the roles weren't widely advertised within the company, which some staffers argued prevented more diverse candidates from applying. Following the hires, Head of Design Arthur Parsons, a Traveler's veteran, also ended up leaving the studio. Okay, so I bring all of this up just as a, just as a suggestion to get more data than just what the media will tell you. Because are there some companies out there that do not crunch? Yes. That's awesome. Would it be great if you never had to work past 5 and you could get in at 10? That would be great. And some companies should support the ability to have that kind of lifestyle if they can afford it. But this, I guarantee you, and if Max is still watching, call in and let me know. I'd love to talk to Max about this. But I guarantee you, if Polygon were there in the day and they wrote up God of War 1, they wouldn't have any, sexual issues or people being mistreated issues. But we crunched like motherfuckers. And I was a pain in the ass. Because I was like, I can't see the future. I don't know if that mechanic will work. Sometimes you can. And sometimes I regret, I should have seen that. I'm an idiot. But more often than not, when a director or someone in charge asks for something, they're not everybody, it's so easy to think if I were doing his job, I could do it better. He's just an idiot. Anybody in charge gets that backseat quarterbacking or backseat driving, Monday morning quarterbacking all the time. All the fucking time. Hell, I give it to the Xbox management. But at this point, you must admit I'm right because it makes no sense otherwise. But when it comes to Lego, they changed the formula. They made a great game, and they have been rewarded by that great game with wonderful scores and amazing blistering sales. Okay? And if they would have shipped on time, and if they would have done it the way Polygon or Kotaku or whoever would have approved of, you would not have the success they have. And I don't give a fuck what you say. It's management. You can manage that. Fuck you. I mean, from the bottom of my nether regions, go fuck yourself. Can video games be better managed? Of course. Everything can be better managed. Even God of War, which was run by the best manager in games, Shannon Studstill. We still crunch like motherfuckers. Okay? Because that's what it takes. And I'm so fucking sick of this bullshit narrative. It doesn't mean that big games have been made without crunch? Absolutely. But I will tell you, and I've had big fucking directors and developers reach out to me and say, well, Jaffe, I do want to let you know that this studio, and I'm not going to tell you who it is, we did do this game, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, without crunch. And I believe them. But the difference, though, is unlike Lego, where they were reinventing the whole thing and trying to figure out what worked and how to do it and how do we grow beyond the core. Some of these games that I'm talking about are amazing, brilliant, but they're also building off a legacy of design, and we know what the game is. I'm not saying, trust me, the guys who make MLB The Show work their asses off, but they also know what baseball is. Morgan, I'm not going on pro-crunch rants. I bring this up only because it's impossible to avoid the results of crunch. When you look at Skywalker sales higher than Elden Ring in the UK, when you look at Lego Star Wars has smashed Steam's record by 1,200 points, when you look at the sales charts, there's a reason that's happening. And the reason for the season is crunch, right? So Polygon can complain, but number one, ask yourself, where's the reporting that suggests all the reporting about crunch, nobody cares about. So why doesn't Polygon go interview the people who bought the shit out of this game that was made in crunch, or any of the other games that were, Cyberpunk, any of the games, and go, we told you it was made under sweatshop conditions, but you still bought it. What? The reason is not Star Wars, Morgan. That's ridiculous. To suggest the reason is Star Wars would not make sense to say that the last Lego Steam user record was Smash. There have been many Star Wars games in Lego, and they've done well. But they've never done this. They've never gotten the best reviewed game was an 83%. All the other ones, the last Lego Star Wars, probably like a 72. So I bring it up only to suggest that there is a direct correlation betwixt when you put in the work and the work pays off. Now, are the people who put in the work getting the payoff? If not, that's a real problem. But I just think it's dumb. I think it's dumb that we have made the industry out to be this. Now, the sexual stuff, there's no place for it. The toxicity, the cruelty, there's no place for it. But you want to work in AAA, or you want to work and make products that people pay for, fuck you. Because welcome to the suck. But guess what? You get to have people 20 years on going, thank you. It made my childhood. You get to have people 20 years on, 5 years on now going, hey, my mom's dying. My dad's got cancer. I have cancer, whatever. And these gave me escape, and they gave me community, and they gave me joy when other things in my life were going terrible. That's what it means, right? You think the people who went to the Olympics didn't crunch? Maxwell says crunch was free lunches and dinners and things getting done. Max also, I want to say it was, it wasn't you, it was Ken. It's Ken Feldman. I think, was it Ken who basically was like, yes, I will stay late? He was our art director. He says, yes, I'll stay late, but you have to pump in sports for me. So he'd sit at his desk and work, but he'd be watching like March Madness and shit. See, Art3D, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. Crunch is a sign. You don't know. I mean, have you, CR, you've worked in games, yes? He says crunch is a sign of poor management or team leadership. It's like the kid who crams for a test the day before the test. No, it's not. The only way to have the scenario work out the way you're proposing is management builds in a year and a half, 2 years, just for like a skunk works team to figure out all of the mechanics and what the game is. Okay, now that's still going to change because once the art goes in, the effects go in, you're fighting for frame rate, you get new hardware numbers, whatever. Things still have to change, but at least your base mechanics are done. So you're adding a huge amount of money to the budget. And then also you have to make sure that the team is okay or the business is okay saying good enough is good enough, right? So for example, if the word was that Elden Ring saw, the guys who were making Elden Ring saw, I want to say it might have been Horizon Forbidden West. And they were like, shit, we have to work a lot harder. We have to go back to the drawing board. Our game doesn't look as good as this game. Well, if your publisher thinks the audience doesn't care about that, cool. But if they don't, and I assume you care about it if you're spending $60 or $70 on a AAA fucking game, then you need to go the extra mile. Steffi says, we don't make games like it's 1999 anymore. Where do you work, Steffi? What company do you work at? And I can end this sentence with the preposition if I want, because that's some bullshit thing that some guy made up, and it's not even real English rules. Yeah, well, VVLM, this is where people misunderstand me. People who don't want to crunch should not have to crunch, and people who go to work at a company that says there won't be crunch and there is crunch should not only be furious and quit, but should consider if they have a legal case. I don't know if they do, but I wish they did if they don't. But if you sign up to work at Sony Santa Monica or Naughty Dog or Traveler's Tales after these reports and you act, that's what it is. Sorry, that's what it is. Is it worth it? I'm looking for it. Somebody just wrote, is it worth it when Shannon had an emotional moment working on 2018? You're talking about the documentary. You'd have to ask Shannon that, but it clearly was. And Shannon is, if Shannon never wants to work another day in her life because of the bounty that came from the brilliant work she did on that series and at that studio, that was the reward that she was willing to pay for. And everybody should be rewarded in some way that they feel is acceptable for the work that they did. I don't believe in exploiting people, but I also don't believe in lying to people about what it takes to reach Game of the Year quality work in any field, because you're being sold a bill of fucking goods, man. I didn't ignore your members super chat. I'm not done yet, you old so-and-so. Morgan, you and I are usually synced up on progressive liberal type issues. I am not saying fuck the workers. I am not saying people should do this if they don't want to do this. But you are, and no one should be exploited. Exploiting suggests that you are lied to and you're told one thing and then they're like, we'll fire you if you don't do this totally different thing. I don't agree with that. That's horrible. It's not okay. So what I'm saying to you is that, yes, I'm with you on that. But that thought can also live and exist in a world where well above and beyond is what creates most of the greatness in the world. Okay? That's all I'm fucking saying. Mr. K has been a member for 9 months. He's also been a huge supporter of the stream. He's done things like timestamps and helping out in all kinds of ways. I appreciate it, buddy. You know I do. He says, Jeffy, is it true that you never criticize the Saudis and all their purchases of game companies because they greased your palms a few years back? I criticize Saudi Arabia government all the time. The main reason it's not really what I talk about on this show, unlike China, is because they historically have not tried to push their, in my opinion, backwards agenda into other people's media. China, just today, Warner Brothers came out and announced that they cut, I think it was 6 minutes out of the new, whatever, Fantastic Beast Harry Potter thing for China, because Dumbledore and whoever else that he had a gay relationship with, that was referenced. And they were like, whoa, that's not going to fly in China. That's the reason I don't bring up Saudi Arabia. I think that's we're talking about two different things. But do I think their culture, their government, when it comes to how they treat women and other people are terrible? Yeah, I do. At least certain aspects. Yeah, but Dr. Dan, then we're talking about something different. Dr. Dan says, but people are forced to crunch. Right. I'm not okay with that. I am okay if the studio says, hello, I'm applying for this job. Cool. We'd like to hire you. Before you hire me, I have a question. Sure, what is it, pal? Oh, my question is, do you guys crunch? And they say, yeah, unfortunately, in order to make the kind of games that we make here, we try not to. We try to cut it off at the pass. We try to fairly compensate, and this is what the compensation looks like. But I'd be lying to you if I told you that 60% of the time you're going home at 5, because you're not. That's not what we're about. And if they said that, and then you took the job, and then they said, well, part of your job is crunching, and you got all huffy, I'd say, fuck you. But sure, if they told you something different, you're absolutely right, and they're forcing them to crunch. But that's not what we're talking about. It's not what we're talking about. You're starting a band called Crunch Culture Club. Cool. I want to watch. I want to watch. Hang on. Fellas, that's it. That's Gavin and Games. I'm fried. I gotta talk to you for a little bit. Let me ask you guys a question. You guys help me now. I help you with all your therapy needs and all your love needs. Let me ask you a question. Today was Gavin and Games, whatever, heavy chat, right? And then we do Gavin and Games Monday, Wednesday, Friday that doesn't have a lot of engagement like this. It's very focused, more for the podcast and for people watching to get their news and get analysis and debate when people call in and things like that. Do you guys enjoy this formula or not is question one. And do you like it being broken up that way? Do you like the fact that 3 of the shows are more focused and serious and really on point, and a couple times a week it's crazy bullshit like this? Or is it like, dude, never do a show like this again? I hated it. I'd love to know your feedback before we wrap it up for the day. I would appreciate it because it helps me steer the ship in the direction that I'm going to steer it. That's what I'm saying. Darth Nugget says, talking about Crunch is way more stale than Sony's third-person games. All I'm telling you, I'm not bringing up Crunch again to bring up Crunch and be like, Crunch is bad. I'm bringing it up because we are looking at a massive success this year for Lego Star Wars. And it aligns directly with Lego Star Wars being a big hit and a report coming out that they crunched to make it. That's what it is. It's what it is. I like the more focused format. Breaking the shows up adds variety, says Eternal. Okay. People seem to like it. You're still going to do crap and shoot. I don't know if I'm going to try Andre, but it's not going to be regular. It's just going to be when good stories come up that suit that more. And I'll be regular 5 times a week over here on the YouTube. The direction of the show is cool. Keep it going. Cascade. Thanks, sir. Crunch is not bad. Okay. There you go, fellas. That's been Gavin and Games for the 12th of April. I will be back tomorrow around 2 o'clock with a proper Gavin and Games show. If you want to ever call in, if you're watching the show and you're like, I want to call in, but I'm kind of shy, totally cool. This number will do voicemail. If you call in with an interesting question or call, I will play it on the show. So you can still be part of the show. I'll still directly answer your question. You won't have to talk to anybody. As soon as the show goes down, I turn off the ringer and it goes to voicemail. So keep that in mind. Ryan P. No, actually, Ryan P., go fuck yourself. You think I didn't see your comment? I cannot stand people like this. Ryan P. says, I love how Jaffe is only reading out positive comments about the new show. The reason I didn't read your comment, and I'll put it up now, is it didn't make any sense, okay? Ryan P. says, the new formula sucks, Jaffe. Go back to how you used to do it. If I took that comment to heart, I would have no fucking clue what to do. Because which one are you talking about? Last week? The week before last when I was doing a show on Twitch that was nothing about games and this? Or are you talking about when I was doing proper non-interaction 5 days a week? Or it was always interaction for the last 3 years? That's why it was ignored. Because I didn't want to get into it with you. Because it's late, I'm tired, I wanna move on. So you weren't ignored because it was critical. You were ignored because it was dumb. Be smarter, be better, be better and smarter. The red phone, if you want to call in right now, is available. Get on here. I'm still on. Till I'm on, I'm on. What? People have always been able to call in and interact with the chat. Obviously, Jaffe. No, yeah, they have always been able to do that. That is not new. Fuck you, Fupy. I agree with Max. Still loves the peeps at Sony Santa Monica, as do I. Not all of them, but a lot of them I do. I think they're phenomenal. Great people. I ignored your YouTube comment. Well, you have the floor, pal. What was your YouTube comment? Go. Let's go. Type it in. The hotline thing seems fishy for Europeans. What? What's fishy about it? It's a phone call. Oh, Max, Dr. Dan wants you to know that making games is not that hard. He says it's actually not that hard. Have your game modular, have content you can easily cut and scale to avoid crunch, be flexible with milestone goals and budgets. No one is saying it's impossible to ship a project on time. Anyone can do that these days. That's not the point. Of course, we know how to ship games on time. What is alchemy that is ever more changing is how do you ship a great, profitable game that will continue to excite people about your franchise, your studio, the medium, on and on and on, and do that on time. Stoner Joe says Jaffe's pissed. I'm not pissed. But I have had it up to here with people across the board shitting over experience. You have one of, and I'm serious, if you were to make a list of the top 30 most financially successful video game directors, I would be in that list. That's how successful some of the shit I've directed has been. You have a guy in the chat who is one of the best video game effects artists in the business who has worked on multiple, many millions, tens, and in some cases more, best-selling video games. And we are telling you the way it is. No, that's not the way it is. Oh, okay, Dr. Dan, what games have you worked on? What AAA games have you... Well, you mean duty head, right? It's ridiculous. And then he comes back with, but again, not only the big AAA games crunch. No. You don't know if you are making the next Unpacking. If you are, you don't know, even if you're making a small game. The guys who made Cuphead, who mortgaged their house, you think they didn't crunch? Of course they crunched. That's what it takes in whatever size.
Call from.
Hello?
Hello?
Who's this?
This is Max again. Are you talking about this crunch stuff?
All right, preach, Maxwell, go.
Oh, I mean, to me, crunch is the last minute you're going to get in the best stuff in the game. It's like if you care about a game that you're working on, you're going to crunch, and you're going to put everything in it that you possibly can because you don't want to leave anything on the table. The stuff about people freaking out about crunch is ridiculous to me.
Well, what do you think about this? Again, no team is perfect.
Yes.
But what do you think about this idea where they say, oh, it's bad management? I thought we had pretty fucking good management for a long time.
We had the best management. We had the best management there is. I would never blame the management on that because there's things you want to get in the last minute that you have to spend the extra time to do it. If you didn't care, fine. But there was people that didn't crunch.
Yeah, but a lot of people there they would go, this is not the studio for me, correct? Because we hired the people who are attracted to work in a place like Sony Santa Monica or Naughty Dog or wherever are people who want to be working with other A-game players. That's what it takes.
Correct.
So what do you...
Correct, that's all.
Let me ask you one more question. When you were at Sony, Did you ever have any employees come in that were like new to the business, and whether because they were raised on Polygon or any of these websites or whatever reason, they came in and they were shocked to the system regarding how much work it took?
Of course, and a lot of them didn't make it. They left.
Right, and that's okay. Not everybody needs to make it, but the ones, okay. So I'm telling you this, Max is telling you this, and you don't want to believe it. You don't want to fucking believe it, and I don't know why. It's like, it's okay to hate it, but don't shoot the messenger. This is the way it is.
That's right. That's right. I just had to call in because it was making me nuts.
Thank you, Max.
Because, I mean, after working on all the games, it's like I have no hard feelings about crunching hard. Even on the games that maybe didn't do so well, it's still, I didn't want to leave anything on the table.
That's
that was
exactly
crunch
right.
for me.
That's exactly right. Let me ask you one final question. I'll let you go. Have you and your girlfriend, significant other, ever done any swinging? Oh, I already asked that. Goodbye, Max.
Bye.
All right. Look. Wise Guy says, y'all making it sound like it's an employee's choice to crunch. If staff aren't happy, they can leave, but let's not pretend employees in game studios. But let's not pretend games are... you just deleted your comment. I don't know what you were saying. Let's not pretend that employees in game studios are treated like poo or not treated like poo. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Lock games out to updates to fix bugs like the old days. You get what's on the disc. No, Michael Day. Again, I'm not saying that because I'm not saying that because I'm like, fuck you, Michael Day. I'm saying that because you can do that. Some studios will do that. It's, again, you guys act like you think game developers don't know how to ship on time. Yes, you can lock the features at May if your game ships in August. And it's like, sorry, you can lock it in May if the game ships in a year. Sorry, you can. But you're not going to be able to compete because, like Max just said, you end up leaving stuff on the table. It's okay to hate Max. No, Max, I'm reading it. It says we need more devs like Max. We do. It's okay to hate crunch. Fully Time says crunch is necessary. I do agree with him on that. It's okay to hate crunch. It's okay to not want to work at a studio that crunches. And it's okay to say, I'm not going to give my money to games that crunch. Okay? But what it's not okay to do is act like you know any better when we're telling you and you're not offering anything better. Like Dan says, well, why instead of crunching and leaving stuff on the table, the team gets more time? Yes, that happens too. A lot of games are delayed. Halo was delayed. God of War is perpetually delayed. Every one we've made has been delayed. It happens. That's one of the airs that you can let out of the tire, one of the knobs you can turn. But you're still having to compete with 180, 240, $260 million products. There's a lot at stake. And sometimes, often, that is not all it takes. Dan says that's better than crunch. Yes, of course it is. And that lever gets pulled. And then there need to be more levers that get pulled. How many times was The Last of Us was pushed? Cyberpunk was pushed. You know, you can only delay so many times. Dr. Dan, you don't know anything. I'm done. No one denies that, but there are better choices than crunch. You don't know anything. Not to get the games at the level that customers want them, that teams want to work at, that publishers are paying for in order to compete. No, there are not. If crunch is not in your toolkit and you want to make a game of the year candidate at the AAA level, crunch is one of the tools that you use. Dan says, I work over 20 years in the biz. Where do you work? Where have you worked that you have been a significant contributor to? I would be stunned if you're like, oh, I'm the lead coder on Assassin's Creed. And I'd say, no, you're not. I'd love to know. Where have you worked, Dr. Dan? Stoner Joe, thank you, buddy. He says, the reason being God of War PS2 ending why A not kill K? Why a PS2? Why, who's A? Athena didn't kill Kratos because he was the new God of War. She saw great potential in him. If crunch works, why doesn't Microsoft do it? Really? Microsoft needs to do something. All the games you hear about from those guys, they're like, oh, they're too lenient. They let us do whatever we want. Well, come on. You're not going to hold them up as some kind of god of shipping quality on time in en masse. Yeah, Mr. K says Dr. Dan makes the games in the pediatric waiting room in the hospital. He might, and that's great they have those. I love it. It's great they have those, but they're like basically what they are is like PS2 kits playing ATV versus Off-Road Fury or whatever, which was a great game. But it's not like they're giving you PS3s, 4s, or 5s. I'm waiting for Dr. Dan to tell me where he works. Oh, okay. Not a company you might know, except you love German games. Well, give me a name of a game. We'll Google it. I just want to see the scale that you're talking about. What is the name of the game that you've worked at, sir? If you call yourself a doctor of games, we better know what games you've worked on. You goddamn right, Darth Nugget. Come on, baby. Don't fuck with you. You think come on now. Yeah, Drive-By says, I can't believe people actually care about crunch. Who gives a fuck? Hey, by the way, newsflash, nobody. You know how I know nobody gives a fuck? Outside of a few people? Because people keep buying and buying and buying and buying, and websites keep reporting and reviewing on the games that they said were made with crunch. So here's what I know. Nobody really cares. At least not at the number that they would have you think. Drive-By says, I can't believe people care. Who gives a fuck? I crunch all the time at work. It's called overtime. Absolutely. I may have already read that. I'm very high right now. Yeah, sure, Dan. Give me the last 3 games you've worked on. Last 3 games you've worked on. Andreas says, Jaffe, I am rejoining the gaming industry. Day 1, I will go and say, Jaffe told me to ask about crunch. Absolutely. If you go to get a video game job and you don't ask them, talk to me about your philosophy of crunch, then you're not smart enough to have a video game job. If you don't know by now to question the work culture, especially if crunch bothers you, which it should because it sucks, then you're an idiot and you're probably not smart enough to do anything on the team they're hiring you for. That should be a warning sign. Hell, if I was still in business and they didn't ask me about crunch, I wouldn't hire them. And they'd say, why didn't you hire me? Because you're a moron. Because you didn't ask. I want to give them my money, says Joe, for the AAA game. Thank you, developers, for crunching. Right. That's right. And if the developers don't have a better deal that they see some of that money, then they need to work somewhere else or just stop complaining. Or, I mean, you know, it sucks. But if you can't make a better deal that you want some of that ducat that comes your way, then yeah, that's terrible. You deserve better. I'm not saying it's good, but it can't be fixed. No one's offering anything to fix it. I'm waiting for Dr. Dan. How can you DM me? DM me if you want to on the Discord or on Twitter. But if you're going to DM me telling me the games you've worked on and then I can't share, I don't mind you DMing me anyway. DM me and talk to me if you got something you want to talk about. But what I'm asking you to give me data on is so I can share it with the audience. I want to tell them. Because here's what I'm thinking, Dr. Dan. Let me just give you fair warning. I have every assumption, and this may be incorrect, that what you are going to send me is a link that perhaps looks like to a game that looks like, let me just pull something up real quick. Like a mobile phone game or, a C-level shooter that makes a lot of money, but it makes a lot of money because it's just like a a free-to-play browser game, in like Crossfire or something, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. But those games don't touch the kind of games we're talking about in terms of execution. Jarvie Rocks, thank you for being a member all this time. I appreciate that, buddy. He says, what I'm getting at is everyone wants games to have low graphics, which I would be fine with. If not, then crunch has to happen, sadly, so no one complains about delays, which I'm fine with. Right. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to that. It's like, you want your game shorter? Cool. You want the games not to look as good? Cool. Well, that's a Game Pass game. It's shit. Well, then just say thank you. Stoner Joe, thank you for the super chat. He says, why did Ares let Kratos open the box? That's a great question. You're talking about God of War 1. So Ares is wearing Pandora's box around his neck like a, was it Eazy-E with the big clock? I think Kratos throws a Zeus lightning bolt at the chain. It causes it to break. So even though we didn't have Kratos rushing and opening it fast, I think the idea was that it was way down there and Ares was way up here. And so Kratos just started to open it, and Flava Flav is who it was. Before anybody knew it, he had opened the box. It wasn't like a race, and I don't think he would have let Kratos open the box if he knew that was going to happen. But, it's kind of, you got to give us a little creative leeway given that, he was wearing the weapon that could kill him literally around his neck. I mean, if he was really the God of War, you'd think he'd kind of be like, maybe that's not the best strategy. Maybe I should hide this away somewhere where no one can find it because it will kill me. No. I'm going to wear it as jewelry. Come on. Whew, I dodged a bullet. Henry Studio, how do I get you access back? I'm not trying to keep you from the Discord. I just don't know what to do about it. Oh, okay. So I've got the guy. This is Mac. I know who this is. Okay. You are Dr. Dan. Okay. Let me put some of the games you've made online. Okay. And I'm sure they've been successful. Nobody's doubting that. But let me put some of the games just so we can all figure out if we're in sync about what it takes to make crunch games. VVLM's been asking about interviews. I want to bring them back. I'm just struggling with the philosophy behind who I bring on the show. And I can talk about that later. I didn't dox the guy. He's on our Discord. Okay, hang on. Okay, here's one. And stop me before I do this because it sounds like you're okay with me letting people know. One is called, we'll just Google some of these, all right? One is called, God damn it, Jeffy. Move that. Do you want me to stop? Do you want me to do it? If you don't want me to do it, I won't do it. But you got to let me know if it's okay to show you. Okay, is there any of them that I can show? All these games you listed, there's not a single game I can show? I'm at least going to look, but... Kills on Fire says, if there was a God of War 1 remake, thank you, buddy, for that super chat, would you prefer Blue Point style, faithful, or a total reimagining? My answer to that would be I would prefer someone who I would prefer someone who is passionate about their vision. And whatever they wanted to do or the team wanted to do, that would excite me more. I don't really care. I would love to have a remake. And the only real difference is we went through and retuned some of the annoying parts, which we all know. We put in the parts we had to cut. There were a couple of bosses we cut. And we cut a couple of big level chunks out that we couldn't do. Tidy it up, tighten it up, add some fan service in there, maybe even add some interesting connective tissue between the original God of War and now with the 2018 one. And I don't know how that would look, but whatever. But honestly, if someone came and said, we would like to remake, or let's just say remake, because what I just described is really more of a remaster. We would like to remake God of War 2005. I would suggest that they do whatever they want as long as they're driven by talent and passion. All right, let me look at his games here. I can't tell you what they are. I apologize. Okay. Okay. I'm going to just tell you the Metacritics. How about that? This Metacritic game, now again, I'm not taking the piss. My last game is a 56 Metacritic, okay? I'm looking for it, though. There may not even be a Metacritic. There's only one review of this game. And they call it a bad conversion for a bad title. Let me look at the next game. So you didn't design it. It was a conversion. And it wasn't a well-reviewed conversion. And you don't think you need to crunch. Well, I don't know. Let's go on. Maybe that's the anomaly, pal. And hey, man, you've worked in the business for 20 years, you said. It's a great industry in a lot of ways. Clearly, it's taking care of you, perhaps taking care of your family, your health. No one should ever be ashamed about the games they work on, because a lot of times it's not under everyone's control. You know that. I'm just saying that if we're talking about it as a issue with crunch, then we're going to talk about it in terms of the output. We're not going to talk about it any other way. Now, I'm looking at a game. This is a 84 Metacritic. It is a mobile game. I got a 95 on IGN. It got a 90 on App Safari, an 80% on Eurogamer, a 66 on Pocket Gamer. I wish I could show people what it was, because I want to. Hang on. Let me see what it is. I've never heard of it. I'm going to turn it down so nobody can hear it. I want to tell people what this is. It's an iPhone game. Okay, hang on. Videos. Okay, let me see what this is. Yeah, that's not at all what I want. I want... Okay, I got it. Here it is. Hang on. Are you... Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But it is... Come on, man. I gotta come up with something to show them that's applicable so they understand the level of, nothing's wrong with it. I might download it. Maybe it's a great deal of fun, but it's an app. It's a little app with 2D graphics and very simple graphics. And to suggest that your take on crunch is meaningful when it comes to talking to people like me and Max about how teams should and shouldn't be run, I think that's I think that's disingenuous. I think it's and I think it spreads the wrong kind of message. It would be let me bring up one more, and then I'm going to try to find something applicable so I can at least show the stream. The level that we're talking about, okay? Okay, now this one looks interesting. It has a 71 on Metacritic. I'm not going to say what it is. I mean, it still looks old, but you know, nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a game from a long time ago. Let me see. This came out in 2006. It is a real-time strategy game. That's what I will tell you. It's sitting at a 71 Metacritic. People say it's solid. It's an enjoyable, highly simple, and traditional real-time strategy game that gets a few points knocked off because it's dated concepts and poor execution. It may not be earth-shattering, but it has depth in spades. A solid RTS with 2 unique features. There are minor graphical and AI issues, but don't let that deter you. So, again, I'm not knocking it. Sounds fun. Some of my favorite games are 70 in Metacritics, even lower. But to suggest that this is comparable to saying Max's crunch time on God of War 2018 or the Lego crunch time 2022, and that you're going to stand up there and you're going to provide information. I think what's fair to say, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, Dr. Dan, is there is work to be had and done and a good living to make in this business if you want to make games that are, you know, they're smaller, they're rougher around the edges, but if they're run smartly, you can still make a great living and they're easy to monetize, but you're not going to be up there, you know, collecting DICE awards and shit. I mean, I think we can agree on that, correct? I'm going to close my eyes for a minute and pass away. I'm going to close my eyes for a minute and think. I want to think if I can show you a game like the one I was looking at that he did. Just go look up. Oh, okay. Well, what was that PlayStation game where you were a pink blob with legs that walked? And it was very simple. It kind of looked like Loco Roco, but it wasn't that. It started with a P. I'm not saying that's the kind of game he made, but if you kind of think of like a simple single screen puzzler with that level of graphical fidelity, that's the game he made that I can't show you. It's not Kirby. It's a PlayStation Network game. It's got a oval pinkish character walking, 2 long legs walking, and he's got eyes and he's looking out at the screen and shit. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, the point is, yeah, you can make a great living, hopefully, and Dr. Dan's had a great career. But you absolutely cannot compare your experience to what Max is talking about, what I'm talking about, what the guys in Traveler's Tales on that particular game are talking about. So, again, maybe you can, and if I've gotten your take wrong, you know I love you're a member of our community. I love you're here. We don't have to agree to be pals, but I'm going to call bullshit on that. Stoner Joe, thank you for the super chat. He says, Jaffe, when are you doing Jaffe Plays God of War? Man, I don't know. I got to get the Twisted Metal one done first, and I've just been struggling so much trying to get the core stream as best as it can be, that those kind of peripheral things, I've been like, okay, I'll get to that later. And I want to get to it. I know people want some of that stuff, and I want to give it to people, but I just struggle right now because I'm trying, and people seem to like this format and the other format, so I think maybe we will be locking into something, and then in that I can kind of turn my sights to something else. Thanks, Senator Joe. I hope you're well, buddy. Jaffe says, DA, I think only testers are paid extra in crunch time. No. People who are paid extra are people who are contracted to be paid extra. Usually those are contract workers. Most contract workers like that are testers. But are there contract workers that are coders and outsource teams and all kinds in a team or on a team that can negotiate and say, hey, yes, I will be your effects guy, but I don't work for you. Or if I do work for you, part of my contract is any work over this results in this reward. But more often than not in the industry, just because there's so many of them, you have contract workers as QA. Although Activision just changed that over there. 1,100 employees went from contract to having health benefits, bonuses, and are now full-time Activision employees, which is good. It's not because Bobby Kodak's good. It's because Bobby Kodak wants the deal to go through. Yes, Pinkanuku, Benjamin. Let me put that up on the screen. That's not the game he worked on, but it looks like that. It looks like. You know, it also reminds me there was an I don't remember if Loco Roco ripped off the iPhone game or the iPhone game ripped off Loco Roco. But whatever it is, it also kind of looks like that. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of this level of visual sophistication. The textures are a little more realistic, but this is kind of what we're talking about. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Dr. Dan wants you to know crunch itself is a very old method to get stuff done and usually used by old guys like you, who is 10 years older than me, I presume. Well, you may be right, but what I can tell you is Max just came off God of War and he crunched. The Lego guys just shipped the game. They crunched. Naughty Dog crunches. Cyberpunk crunches. Where is this revolution of young people with these fresh new ideas that have changed the game, and you're just waiting for us old guys to die? What AAA studio is this happening at? I would love to know, and I'm sure the industry would love to know. But I've not seen it. All right, I'm going to go, though. I've had fun hanging out. I've had fun talking to you. I appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good time too. I may be streaming games tonight, or I may be watching The Good Doctor with the family. Regardless, what I can promise you is I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it at 2. It may not be 2. Depends how late I stay up. That's the truth. Look, this is it. This is it. Until I hire a producer. I can't tell you when I'm going to bed tonight. If I get into a good Hearthstone run, or I start streaming Gas Station Simulator, I don't know when I'm going to bed. But that will determine when I wake up, which will determine when I have enough time to prep the show. What I can promise you is there's a show tomorrow night, proper Gavin Games, whether it's at 5, whether it's at 2, I'll let you know as soon as I know. I'm going to shoot for 2. Be well, be safe. Thank you guys. Thank you mods. Thank you super chats. Thank you members. You guys are the best. I love getting to do this, and I love that you guys let me do this. So be well, be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye, you guys. Now I just got to figure out how to turn off the show. I don't know how to do it. See you guys. Oh, call the red phone. If you want to leave a message, I'll put it on the next show. All right? See you soon.